And I'm like, come on, quickly. Were you followed?
No.
Okay, good. I shut the door as soon as you step
I was
inside.
totally followed.
Probably.
I enter.
Well, welcome to our humble abode.
Out of character, am I also aware of the growth agency thing?
You're not yet. You will be briefed by your team, presumably.
Right.
No, I'll refuse to tell her.
Yeah, we're just gonna be like, hello, welcome,
If I see Zebekai trying to tell her, I'm gonna shoot him in the chest.
There we go.
execution!
This is less of an official Inquisition mission, as it is a favor the Magos is asking the Inquisition.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what they say about favor is asked about the Inquisition by people of power. If I don't do, I'll be shot out of a cannon into a ship.
I assume that you know that this,
No, this, what?
this person who came in, Kirby.
Yes. She's our other squad mate.
Oh. Well, pleased to meet you. The name's, Sepikaya.
Mr. Aurora. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Well, unless he looks like a mutant, in which case,
Well, like I
He looks
described,
like
his left arm is a little mutated, and his one of his eyes is like lazy and little, maybe warped.
Heresy.
But that's just your normal fun time at this fucking planet.
Before you asked, yes, he always smells like that.
Well, hey, what I can do? You're stuck with it. Freaking smells that you just never can get rid of.
There's a shower, and there's the only state-mandated soap that I have ever seen in that room over there. Go use it.
Already tried that. Quite a few times, actually.
speaking of being here forever, did you actually have some sort of briefing? Or are we just waiting?
Yeah, we already picked it up.
Care to elaborate?
I start laying out like these there are a shit ton of files. It's like we're gonna have to read through these eventually. These are related to the briefing. They're just they gave us a list of every hazard that is on this planet that we could potentially run into. And I finally got to B this morning. There's a lot. But currently, our mission objective, there is a particular type of serum that has gone missing from a few Mechanicus research facilities. And we need to find out where it has gone, retrieve it if possible, and apprehend or execute whoever took it. And also figure out why.
I presume a clerical error has been ruled out.
You know, in the time spent being here, we have had roughly the same amount of issues with the Adeptus Administratum initiates as apparently the people on this planet have. We were not told that we had a mission budget until, like, maybe 3 hours into being in this room.
Indeed, we've been screwed over by adepts and paperwork all this time.
We also have a side project. According to the details here, we have a bit of liberty in how we want to go about certain investigations. If we can find anything worth investigating, we managed to pick something up. There is a particular type of drug that's currently circulating through some of the hab blocks. The substance appears to simulate the effects of a combat drug known as slot. Are you familiar with it?
Let me see.
It's the one that increases
Well,
perception and agility.
In its description, it states it doesn't increase anything, which is weird.
So you're claiming that sloth is heresy?
You're heresy. Literally. I have the proof.
I mean, you are correct, I am a heretic.
I'll push that button. I'll do it.
Indeed. But, the problem
Well,
with the growth hormone is quite large. I used to be in some of those labs working with it, and you would be surprised when we had a couple of times when we almost ran out of it.
Well, the particular type of drug is a lot stronger than what we would get in the military. And I don't just mean a little bit stronger. I mean very, very strong. Like, it would take me roughly 7 seconds to even perceive that you just moved. This is how bad it kind of distorts time. And on top of that, makes you hallucinate.
Delightful.
Indeed.
Managed to acquire a sample of it, tested it for the validity of this is kind of what we're looking for, and now I handed it over to the Mechanicus so they could kind of look into it and see what exactly is in it. And then once I get that call back, I'm probably going to have to go to the hospital, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Those will be greener pastures.
That is not in our priority at this moment, I would assume. We should probably look into this growth hormone first.
Yeah, that is currently our main objective, is investigate the missing growth hormone. After that, if we have the time to get back to our little side investigation, that is when things will get a bit more difficult. We got fairly far in for what time we've been on here. We have a few resources at our disposal at current. You look over there. We got a few stacked armaments. We have some tracking devices, communication devices, a box caster over there. We have a number of data slates. We might have an Auspex somewhere.
Yes.
I just haven't gone looking.
I happen to... Actually, did we get that? I believe you might have said something about it. That we have an Auspex yet.
I think I said you didn't have one here, but you can definitely requisition one from the Mechanicus.
Okay.
Keyword is why I said I think we have an Auspex somewhere around here. I have not checked.
Might have actually started with one. I don't know, let me see my gear.
Beyond that...
Being on the planet semi-officially has certain advantages. Mainly those that you can requisition certain equipments from your...
Right, I don't actually didn't start out with an Auspex.
Can I get the soul?
Can you get what?
the soul of a demon?
No.
Oh.
Are you capable of entrapping the soul of a demon, and do you know where a demon is?
Can you roll really, really well on your requisition check?
He's trying to get.
I'm not going to try
I
to
wish
record.
it was that simple.
Do you think your DM is willing to lose another group to an unbound demon host?
Another group.
As I try
You
to
mean?
get further into just kind of describing the kind of list of things that we have at our disposal, my microbead goes off, and the first thing I do is you see me have this very alarmed look on my face, and then I kind of walk towards the bathroom. I'm like, how did you get this frequency? You better answer this question very, very truthfully right now.
I was given the frequency by our mutual employer.
Okay, you gonna tell me who that is? I've got a few employers. Get smart with me, boy.
Looks toward God for a name and or code or whatever.
If you want to know the Inquisitor's name, his name is Ventress.
Ventress or Ventress?
Ventress.
Interesting.
Okay. Yes, I shall reply with that. Our employer named Ventress.
Ventress, who? Got any titles?
Asajj.
God damn it.
I'm actually just putting some of the important people that we have made into the roleplay chat. I'm gonna pin the messages.
I noticed.
So everybody can go and look them up as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. But yes.
I'm like, okay, Ventress too. Come on. Last name, title, place and date of origin.
I would prefer not to say the title as sure frequency might be compromised due to incompetency. Now, would you mind coming to pick me up and tell me your location so we can continue on with the mission?
Okay. You tell me where you're at, I will come and get you. I sure as fuck am not giving away this location.
Fair enough. I'm at blah blah blah. Insert location here.
You can literally say anything and Holler will roll with it. Unless it's completely impossible.
Like, say, like, fucking, like, you just landed here, correct?
Yes, I'm currently. Well, I say I'm at intersection.
Say,
Beyond
okay. Say you're at the intersection of Shuttleport Transit 3.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right down there. Do not make me regret this.
Understandable.
I come out of the bathroom, I got this fucking alarmed, sweaty look on my face, and I'm like, okay. I wish I could extend this briefing further, but I can't right now. So, Zedekiah?
Yeah.
Do you know where this research facility is? They gave us to us in the data slate.
Oh yes, I've been there. Where have you
Okay.
It's warehouses the growth agent was lost from.
It's
Several.
almost to the
Perfect.
higher hive section, but yes.
Okay, perfect. You take her and Draken down there. And I now need to go run down to a shuttle transit.
Some kind of a shipment coming to us.
No. If I don't come back, you need to warn the interrogator.
Well, I was not given that right, but I believe this our new friend here, Aurora, might be able to do that.
I look over at Aurora. Do you have his frequency?
She's currently holding the data slate with all the information on it.
Yes, intently going over it, ignoring you.
I'm going to assume that's the data slate. Okay. If I don't come back or you don't hear from me, you call the interrogator immediately.
Got it. In the
Also, you
meanwhile,
burn the fucking. Also, you burn the fucking hideout.
Yes. Implement, contingency plan C Alpha.
Right, we'll go
And
ahead.
then
It's on the industrial district, 4B.
Now, I very fastly shuffle out of the room.
Alright, so you make your way to the intersection, which is about a solid half-hour away. In the meantime, Aurora, you're sifting through the notes you have on the current case, and it appears that out of a total of 7 warehouses over the course of the last 12 months, almost 20 tons of growth agent C have gone missing. Those have been labeled differently, some as having never arrived, some have been labeled as lost, some have been labeled as stolen. You get a rather clear idea that merchandise sometimes disappears from these warehouses. You've gotten a few of the more extended records, and this is not the only kind of merchandise that disappears and sometimes reappears somewhere else. This is the kind of low-level corruption and theft that is rather common in, well, let's say good quartermasters. Because they can acquire things you need on the down low quickly, and, well, sometimes they have to trade away stuff for that. But the amount of growth agent C that is missing is unusual. While it is a very common chemical that is used in a lot of stuff, 20 tons is a lot. And while this could theoretically just be a dozen quartermasters selling to 300 different people, if someone had all of that, they could do some nasty stuff with that. Like start their own production of war beasts or militarized diseases.
Or crash the local Grox economy. By flooding.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the meat trees have already crashed the Grox economy.
Again, that is some fucked up heresy. Why meat trees of thing?
Because trees are easier to cultivate than Groxes. Groxen.
Just to mess with all the people who, tie their manhoods to the, killing of animals for their food. I can't eat this. No animal has suffered for my meat.
I'm willing to assume that literally no one in the entire 40k universe cares about animals suffering.
No, someone does.
And that dentist you went and tracked
Yeah,
that
you say
line
that now, but I bet that's like Tau, that's like all animal lovers.
You realize that I'm now going to have to include an aggressive vegan Tau in my campaign at some point.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus,
So he's gonna
Marcus,
include
you know the Tau.
Chris. He's
Marcus,
gonna.
you know the Tau are communists.
No, Chris. He's
Even
gonna
the animals
include
have to
Daniel
work.
Bryan as his new role. Just a Tau version of Daniel Bryan.
Is that what the meat tree looks like?
Well, no, they're more of tumorous growths that are hard. Yes, they're cutting out tumors from trees and making you eat those. I didn't say it was appetizing, but it is still slightly better than NutriPaste.
Slightly.
Okay, so the 20 tons have been missing quite recently, so there would probably be a recent uptick in the in lost shipments. I assume there's
That's fair to say.
more or less of a baseline of lost items.
Oh yes. If you look at the records of the previous years, the last year was maybe half that, the year before that a fifth. So losses of growth agency have gone up a lot.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think I present my immediate findings to my remaining companions.
Actually, I don't even know if the I almost said Psyker, but Dragon is here. Because last that we left off, he went into the Arbites and told that... oh wait,
Yeah,
that
believe
never happened.
I believe he retconned that.
He retconned that part.
So we're not quite sure where he is at this moment.
No, he
Oh, that
retconned
would
that,
have been
so
an
he was...
amazing idea. Go talk with the Arbites.
Oh yeah, he went into the Arbites and was like, yeah.
So here's what he did exactly, Kai, and I think you'll giggle at this. He walked in there and he asked if he could meet with the head of the Arbites at this precinct. And he had asked them for a uniform, and he asked them for what purpose. Now, I want you to think about, what you would say if you needed to get a uniform and you were playing as the Arbites.
Actually, technically, I think he was asked why he was on the planet.
Yeah, and he was asked why he was on the planet. I want you to think about what you would say in that circumstance if you were an Arbites. Because this is what he said. He said, I can't tell you. And the response was, why? And he said, listen, I don't answer to you. I answer to the people above you. But he wouldn't tell them who they were. And then he just flat out said that he was a member of the Inquisition, and then called the interrogator on an open channel.
Well, that's just dandy.
And when the interrogator was not happy, we decided to retcon that.
Aww.
But why? The interrogator just would have turned it.
And I told Holler afterwards, like, you know what I would have done? I would have walked in there. I would have asked if I could have speak to the magistrate about getting a uniform. I go in there. They'll ask me, what are you doing on this planet? And I respond with, I'm an investigator. I come from this planet. I'm hunting down a criminal that may have come down here through a shuttle. And unfortunately, I do not have a uniform for this location. I wouldn't want to try and spook him, especially if I walked around in my uniform, I'd stick it like a sore thumb. Do you think you could get me a uniform so I could maybe blend in a bit more? That would have been fairly fucking reasonable. Especially because, Arbitrate's background, I could definitely provide proof that I am a member. If walking in an Enforcer Carapace wasn't fucking, a standout proof enough.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I would just hand him a file on me.
I mean, we don't do reasonable.
Nah.
Exactly.
And that would have been fairly. That would have been a fair way of doing it.
Way
Quick
too
deafen. Easy, but not everything has to be extraordinarily complicated.
Alright then. As Aurora briefs Sebekaya, we will cut to Kirby, who is now reaching the intersection.
Oh god.
So upon I'm just now reaching the intersection.
Yep.
Okay, so I start looking around for anyone who looks exceptionally suspicious. Because I'm thinking, like, who the fuck is this? How do they know the name of my Inquisitor? What if I got...
Give me an awareness check.
Okay. Ooh, a skill I'm not trained in. I'm blind! The drugs fucked my vision out!
May I make a...
You may also make an awareness check.
Everyone here looks suspicious.
Anna!
You
We are
see,
blind.
you see on the far side of the crowd there's a pickpocket.
I mean, that fucker ain't doing anything. Terrorist, give a fuck. That's a local crime, man.
Upon not spotting anyone, immediately what I do is I touch up my Vox, and I chat on the same frequency that I was previously on when I was chatting at, and I said, okay, I'm here. Where are you?
I'm currently between looks around for a moment as I think of a place.
The Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm between Loading Sea and Emperor Bucks. I do not know what this is. There's our coffee place. But it's simply Starbucks with the Emperor's face on it.
What the fuck is a coffee?
Recap. God damn it! I keep wanting to say no. It's recap.
What the fuck is a recappuccino?
What is a recap latte?
Hey man,
I don't have these luxuries.
Why would you put good grog's milk into recap? Also, how do you milk a lizard?
Very delicately.
It takes a while. Oh,
You don't want to know, and it ain't females.
It's like they say, the dumbest farmers have the creamiest milk.
Well,
But they sure don't get a lot from the bowls.
a bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush, but I don't know what they said about Groxus. But I respond and walk towards the landmarks it gave me of Emperor Bucks and a fucking goddamn loading bay.
What do you look at? Solo? Or a Doppio?
If it helps you, look for someone with a large hammer.
Okay.
Oh,
Do I
God.
spot someone with a large hammer standing between the intersection of a loading bay and an Emperor Bucks?
So Connor, tell me, how are you carrying your hammer?
I am literally see on my shoulders right now. Just so
Kirby.
it can be fairly obvious.
You see a ridiculously looking redhead because she is currently holding a warhammer on her shoulder.
What the fuck? As I see you, I see this. How are you built exactly? Are you stout or?
Muscular. Pharaoh worlder.
So I pause as I see that this is the person who has my frequency. I reach into my pack, pull out my anti-anxiety medication, and I just take half the fucking bottle, and I just walk right over, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like any of this, am I?
No, especially since you're now out of medication.
Yeah.
You were literally taking the fumes.
So as I see a shaky, sweaty man walk to me. Huh. What does your character look like?
So I've got some very distinct I've got civilian clothing on. Because I made it a personal note that unless I know I'm going to be going out to shoot someone in a location where subtlety actually doesn't matter, that is when I take my armor. But every other situation, I'm armorless. So I'm wearing kind of civilian clothes, but I've got some I've got a military haircut. I'm clean shaven. I've got basically flat out a shaved head.
Shaved head. Okay.
And I'm fairly I'm fairly lithe looking.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're a void.
Oh no, I'm not Voidborn.
God damn it.
No?
I'm very alive looking.
No,
That's what I heard.
My character's from an exotic world. Specifically, it's that one. It's the variant for Garden Worlds.
Oh, okay.
It's just I've spent legitimately all of my fucking since I was able to legitimately maybe about 6 years inside of a ship refusing to leave it
Hey, man.
because of really bad anxiety attacks.
Understandable.
So he's been noticeably altered.
Okay. I need to pop my back.
I'm gonna go pop you back.
There we go. But yes, you see a relatively tall woman, blood red hair, wearing a cloak with a massive warhammer, a shotgun slung over her shoulder, looking pat with a resting bitch face. This kind of look that Arbites give everyone. Passively judging everything. Kitty, come here. Come here,
Considering
pussy.
that she's an arbiter, would you say that it's more of an arresting face?
Yes.
I
Also
hold
bad.
up my anti-anxiety medication bottle, which is now empty, and I'm like, Lexapro, give me strength.
Lexapro protects.
Lexapro protect. God damn.
So, am I gonna be happy at the end of this walk? It's the first thing I say to you.
Did you just ask her if your walk has a happy ending?
I look at you, raise an eyebrow. Please leave my presence, citizen. I am on official duties.
As am I. You ranked my box.
Eyes you.
Am I gonna be happy at the end of this half-hour fucking run? No kidding. How in the absolute shit do you know that name?
I was sent here to assist you.
Okay.
With you, sex is kind of like going on.
Fuck is that in the background?
I don't know.
I heard sex. Maybe misinterpreted, but I'm fairly certain I heard the word sex.
I'm pretty sure it was sexist.
God damn it.
Okay. Follow me. We're gonna walk around. We're gonna walk away from these crowds for a second.
Fair enough.
And as soon as we're like out of both sight and close proximity to a crowd, I look at you and I'm like, okay. Do you have any kind of proof? I need something. A piece of paper, fucking bit of metal with a special type of fucking insignia on it, something. You have a fucking secret decoder ring? Come on, anything.
God was like giving.
No, but you have a
No.
cool cloud costume.
No.
Because I'm gonna illustrate to you. They did not give me anything that would give me an indication that there was gonna be another person. Now, I know that the adepts are known for their fuck-ups, but you gotta help me here. You gotta give me something.
Well, I know. Employee. I start whispering to you. I know that employee is an inquisitor, and that's why I was sent down to assist you. And if you want more proof, I reach into my coat and hand you just a copy of my Arbitrate's files. Here, a sign of proof that I'm a lord of the Emperor.
So I start like looking through them, trying to keep them like heavily obscured by my body.
Looks like a drug. Why are you a drug addict? Out of character. Man.
Well, out of character, I take anti-anxiety medication because my character has got really, really pronouncedly bad agoraphobia. And also, my character took drugs at one point to confirm the validity of a particular type of substance. before handing it off to the Mechanicus, which, to be fair, one could have surmised that I could have just given him the stuff anyways, and skipped that part.
Nah.
But I don't know why I decided to do what I did on that session, but I did it anyways. It can't be changed. I guess I thought that was the best course of action at that exact moment.
It felt like such a good idea at the time.
Listen, it'll be plot relevant as things go along.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Very interesting stuff is going to happen now because I ingested that substance.
Regrets will be had.
Yeah, you'll find that out in about 3 months when something comes out of you.
Tiny gene sealer.
Well, I've lived a good life.
Oh god.
That's a lie.
Fuck off.
You just don't know any better.
So, do you trust me now? Unfortunately, I was not given any other evidence to prove that I'm on your side beyond your signal.
Okay. So I've been fucked over by the Adepts, like, 4 or 5 times now. I'm willing to believe that they fucked me over a 6th. I'm going to trust you for the time being, and the next time we have to meet the interrogator, I'm going to pray that he has a file on you. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to shoot you, and then I'm going to be shot myself.
Understandable.
Okay. Were you given a briefing on anything?
God?
No.
No.
God!
As you arrived in this system, you were told to make landfall. You were given a set of coordinates and a combat frequency. You did not even meet your Inquisitor.
So you just see me start stamping my feet on the fucking ground, like, God fucking damn. I'm like, okay. So, we are currently on roughly 2 missions. One involves drugs, and one involves medical serums used in research. Pick one.
Drugs.
So pick one. And I'll explain that one right now.
Do you prefer medical or recreational drugs?
Let's hear about the drug.
Yes.
Which one? Because they're both drugs.
The first one. The first one you mentioned.
Recreational drugs.
Okay. There is a Hablock. It's got a particular type of substance currently cycling through it. It's a derivative from the combat stim Slout, which has been proven very effectively at boosting reaction times and awareness. It's very useful. So here's the problem. The problem is that someone else has it, and they've made it more potent than it really should be, and they stuck a hallucinogenic inside of it. And they're selling it. We got a sample of it, and then we sent it off to a lab. I personally tested it to make sure that it was what we were looking for. That is something I'm going to regret to the day I die. I will never be able to get those visions out of my eyes.
Actually, you don't remember any of those visions. If you remember, in the course of the day, you lost all memory of what exactly happened.
Oh, I forgot about that.
See, exactly.
You just remember that it was phenomenal.
It was quite the trip. I can't remember any of it, but I recall it being fun. I can't remember that it was fun, but it was fun.
Oh, you remember warm, fuzzy feelings, a strong sense of unity with yourself, with the world, with those around.
It was.
fuck,
But
it's
nothing
huge.
about the details.
I will illustrate this to you. It was like someone put a warm blanket over me, and everything was okay.
Just
That
raise
sounds awesome. Can I try?
So the moral of the story is that if anything makes you feel good, it's incredibly bad and should not be cycling through a hair block.
I was just gonna mention that probably no one does understand what you're trying to tell to them. You know that warm, nice feeling of safety and warmth.
Yeah, that's legitimately what I was describing as an alien concept, and that's why I immediately followed up with, and that's why we know it's bad.
Oh, like I look at you, very confused, like warm. I grew up in the fucking on a fairy world and it was sent to the skull. I don't know the concept of warm.
I'm describing the euphoria you feel whenever you hunted down a massive beast and broke its fucking neck.
Make it humble.
Yeah, make it humble. when you picked up that Grox and power bombed it onto a living fucking Venus flytrap vagina. Because it's a death world. Or a fair world.
Yeah. Okay, but yes, I understand now.
Humble.
May I hear about the other drug problem you have currently?
There is a particular type of serum that has been stolen from a few Mechanicus facilities. It's called Groped Serum C. It's used in everything from the manufacturing of plagues to war beast production. There has been a lot of it stolen, and when I say a lot of it, I mean, you see that big transit ship right there, that shuttle?
Mm-hmm.
Think about how much that weighs. Now, that is exactly how much has been stolen. And if you need to know exactly how much of a massive problem that could be if it's being used for ill, think of the worst thing that you could possibly think of and then multiply it by cancer.
And now he's just thinking of making like a cocktail drink out of it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Just add a little bit of vodka.
Then I'll be really tall. And nothing else.
No. Then you're just going to Taz again. Don't lie. You know that would happen.
I don't know why, but I'm just thinking of that episode of fucking Billy and Mandy.
Where, I bet that's what this whole
it's
thing
just they
is.
handed him the 4 fucking chocolate. It's just like, chocolate caramel cream.
Like, they're stealing this drink just to make fucking cocktails or something like that. I bet that's the whole plot here.
Oh god.
Chocolate caramel cream, delicious hazelnut, mutating marshmallow, or antidote. He ate the whole dang assortment!
Oh god. But yeah, I begin to nod at that.
It's gonna be like...
Anyways, we've already made progress towards the first one, and we're working on the second one today.
Dr. Mangler wants his own army of tall souls.
You can either join us on the op that we're currently running, or you can follow up on some stuff for the first op.
I'll assist you with the best to finish that before moving on.
Okay, let's get moving then.
Lead the way. Alright, shall we see the
start
follow?
waddling our way off towards the industrial area, trying to follow road signs.
The solar roadways.
Right, let's cut back to the other group.
A nuke fell.
I mean, you haven't annoyed me enough for a nuke to fall yet. Some rocks, maybe.
Yet.
Oh.
Secretly, he's rolling a D100 every 10 minutes to see what happens.
I mean, hey, I did that one. They hated it.
I have no idea why.
If he gets 300s in a row, well, that's a nuke.
Aurora and Zebediah, what is your current plan? What are you doing?
Well, we headed probably towards the industrial district. If not, we do that.
So you're on your way to one of the warehouses.
Yes.
Yes. Seems like a logical step to take.
You can find one of them easily enough. The closest one is at the next manufactorum. It is a sprawling complex. You figure there's an immense tonnage of material being stored here. And suddenly the scale of lost shipments starts to make sense. It's a tiny fraction of what's going through here.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do?
Don't suppose we can just wait for the others.
I would take the time while we wait for the our companion, well, one or two, to arrive. Is that try and locate the areas mentioned in the records, and also see about what the canisters or whatever transportation unit the growth agent is being transported in looks like.
The growth agent is stored in metal barrels that seem to have a volume of between 20 and 50 liters. There's different sizes. And what area are you talking about?
Since they were looking at the manifesto, or the records, just checking what sort of warehouses they should have been transported to. Assuming
Right.
they're not all, if they weren't all bound to be going through the same single warehouse, just to get a feel of how the operation works, basically.
Alright, so this is a massive complex with 4 different warehouses. All of them store basically anything. It's not segregated by material.
Mm-hmm.
From here, the growth agent is distributed to wherever it's needed. Usually different labs, manufactorums, a lot of manufactorums mainly.
Right. So it would appear that it's sort of a hodgepodge and
There you go. That's
basically random where where the shipments are coming in and going from.
closest that I can find what's happening currently.
Yes, it's basically a hodgepodge of different materials.
All
What
right.
does the security look like? Like, are there fences, walls, guards, security cameras?
It's walled off. There's several big gates through which deliveries come and go. There's a complement of security servitors under the leadership of several tech priests, all of the tech priests seem to be modified biologically in some way or another. Most have extra sets of arms. In one case, it's a set of crustacean claws. Some of them have extra eyes, legs, or just limbs or sensory organs that look very different. One of them
I feel like burning this.
One of them has these sort of feline eyes, which you can see. The other one has a very enlarged snout. Another one still has a sort of muzzle with large teeth. So all of these have been heavily modified, these tech priests. They have partaken of their own treatments. It's not heresy if that's basically what this planet is made for.
Yeah.
True, but still.
It's still wrong.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason there's a quarantine fleet with 3 different Inquisitors over this planet. All of which are ready to exterminate this planet at the drop of a hat. If this shit wasn't so damnably useful, they'd have burned this whole place a long time ago.
Can I have a pet war bees?
You can try.
Okay.
Gonna need really high wrangling there.
I would like to advise you to find out what happened to your predecessors first.
I wasn't aware we had predecessors.
Oh yes, you do.
Quite a few.
This base has been
actually.
used before by different teams.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned at the start
right,
that
the
we had a
base.
budget plan and that we were not the first team nor the second team to die of starvation because we bought a shiny new.
The group elected to not be told what happened to the last team.
I mean, it would probably just have been demoralizing anyway.
If I had asked what had happened to the last team, you might ask the same question of me.
From the outside, does it look like that there's been like signs of like break-ins? Or any like weird
There
signs?
is no damage to the walls, no. None of the gates have been broken down,
Like,
as far as you can see.
or anything looks like out of place from a normal like warehouse district.
No, it just looks like the controlled chaos that every warehouse is.
I would assume that my character has at least worked, maybe not in this one, but factory kind of like this. Does the like amount of people here seem any different, or their behavior any like change in it?
They seem to be very busy, but nothing overly suspicious. Also note that this is not a factory, nor a manufactorum.
Warehouse.
This is only the warehouse complex you're in.
Yeah.
So this is purely storage area, just a very large one.
Are there like trucks? Or
Oh yes. There's trucks going in and coming out.
does it
There's a
seem
lot of
like this
deliveries.
is trucks missing? Maybe.
Define missing for me, please.
Let's say that I would have a guess about of average trucks per day into one of these warehouses. Would I assume that it's less than usual?
Probably not, no.
So we can rule out that they've been stealing trucks.
There also seem to be as many trucks coming out as there are going in.
I would like to, ignoring the Mechanicus folk and obviously servitors because, servitors, are there any non-augmented humans in the labor force?
Remarkably few, actually. Many are not overtly modified, but they have these unnaturally bulging muscles.
Right. Well, mostly in the mental department. I mean, they could totally have cybernetics.
I mean, yes, and they have obviously had muscle treatments, because those muscles are not the shape and size that they should be for a healthy human being.
There you go. That looks a little bit more proper what's going on.
You figure most
This
of the laborers
one-
got a low-key treatment to make them better haulers.
Right. Okay, so if there are some basic basic human laborers, then there'll probably be an overseer. Are there any, overseer's towers or something that overlook the area?
There is what seems to be a raised office in one of the buildings that has a glass front that can oversee most of the complex.
I suggest we head over there and have a little chat with the people in charge. Perhaps they have noticed something, or at any rate, they might have been bribed to look the other way.
Right, we're here just to investigate the missing supplies, no? Right. Sounds like a good idea. Shall we wait for the others?
Well, I suppose.
Probably would be easier to go with the two of us. You're right. We should get into that warehouse quite easily with the two of us. I don't see it being quite as easy with a group of people. Makes the lie a little bit more handle. Easy to handle.
Out of curiosity, what lie? You have been given an official mandate to investigate this case.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking something dumb, actually, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
So are you
No,
waiting for the
I
others?
was thinking the typical dumb thing of going like, revealing Inquisitor card to everybody, don't do that.
So you're waiting for the others?
Sure.
Yes.
Alright, so you wait another 45 minutes or so until Kirby and what's her name?
Amber.
And Amber arrive. Amber, you see your other teammates for the first time. There's a fat guy with a weird eye. I mean, she kind of looks weird, too. They all look weird.
Who doesn't?
Yes.
And then there's Draken, who makes you uneased as you enter his aura, bitch.
Bitch, please.
Oh yeah, I was hoping that if he was present, we'll probably just leave him out.
Yeah, he's probably doing his own thing.
You can leave him outside. I should note that Amber is slightly less affected than the rest of you because, as a ginger, she has no soul herself.
Hey man, what you got against redhead?
Nothing. At least nothing that works.
You.
I mean, they tried that in the past, but that didn't quite work.
They just didn't finish the job. Anyways, Kirby and Amber, you're meeting the teammate.
Yes.
And, who's this?
Zedekiah? Aurora? This is... Redhead.
Perpetrator Amber.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't read the
Convenient
name on
naming.
the
Is that just a... Okay, well, pleased to meet you, I guess.
This is our newest teammate.
Since when?
Yeah, see, she had most of the credentials, and due to the clerical errors that we have been experiencing since we got here, a 50-50 shot. that either she's pulling my leg or everyone's pulling my leg.
I can tell you I'm not pulling your leg.
Ah, but that's exactly what you would say if you were pulling his leg.
No, I say that. Actually, look at him. I'm not pulling your leg. I'm holding. Are you okay?
Trust me, if I was pulling your leg, it would already be off.
Oh god.
I'm out of pills.
Well,
I was just looking at my like empty anti-anxiety medication bottle.
we could probably.
I'm sure you can get many different kinds of pills from the Mechanicus.
Well, I'm
Yes.
sure. I just don't think they'll do what I want them to do.
They might.
You'll probably change your mind.
I look at you and I hand you a low stick.
That'll not help me.
Well, we'll think of something for that later. For now, let's go in and, I guess, question around.
Yes, although before we go, Dracon, would you mind staying outside? No offense, but you don't really seem like a people person.
Hulk, stay.
Oh, and
Yes.
Amber, was it? With all possible respect, we're trying to be subtle. I hope that's something that you could do in the arbitrate, right?
That's why I have the cloak.
Good, good. Just making sure.
The cloak does nothing to hide the massive warhammer.
Yes, looking very
Yeah,
intently.
it's the
Massive fuck off.
it's
war.
now
It's not a warhammer. It's a wrench. It's meant for repair.
It's a war spanner.
Marcus, you know exactly it's a warhammer. Also, it's about 40,000 feet long. I mean, what?
Yes.
exactly. Hey, it could have been worse. It could have been the caster. I was really thinking about taking that instead.
I mean, it could be worse. He could be carrying around like a solid gold hammer.
I could be carrying around an reader. It was like, this is as subtle as I'm getting. It could have been far worse.
What would be even the logistics behind carrying a solid gold hammer?
To do more damage. As it,
You would
yes,
you would
yes.
swing it at a person and it would
You
break.
inspire the troops.
Yeah, you would inspire the troops and then you'd hit someone with it and it would break their face, but also break your hammer.
Oh no, gold hammers don't break, they bend.
Exactly. Gold is pretty soft.
They crumple.
I mean, it would actually make
I know.
a lot of
I
sense
love
for
it.
an arbite to have a golden hammer
Like,
then
it
you could
makes,
reconstruct
like-
their face from the impact. Ah, see.
Like, I'd imagine that, like, a gold adorned hammer would look pretty neat. It'd make you stick out, but a solid gold hammer.
I mean, I'm 100% sure there are gilded hammers in 40k.
well, of course there are gilded hammers. But I'm talking about real solid gold. I can't see that, like, not just fucking, like, being made worthless.
Completely pointless.
Well, not worthless, but I'd hit you with it once.
Impractical. Though it would look cool.
It would be awkward to swing after the haft has bent out of shape.
Damn it.
You have, like, a fucked up candy cane by the end of it.
Hey, that worked in the jingle all the way. No, Santa with muscles too.
Alright, so... shall we? And I gesture towards the control tower.
We shall.
Yes, lead the way.
We enter the control tower.
So you make your way into one of the buildings. You're challenged at the front door by one of the guards. Excuse me?
Hi.
You do very much not look like you work here.
No, we don't. We are investigators from the RBTs. We were sent down by extension of one of the Mechanicus representatives about some supplies that were taken.
See, we were informed that an investigation would take place about that. If you'd follow me, I'll bring you to the Overseer.
Alright, lead the way.
He leads you up some stairs, towards the door, knocks on it, opens it. Excuse me? Overseer? There's a few people here who are... Well, they want to talk to you about the missing supplies. Alright, send them in. And he lets you in.
Inside.
What does the insides of the warehouse look like?
The inside of the warehouse is just a lot and a lot of shelves. Shelving units, crates stacked high, the works. You've been led over a small staircase up to the office, which itself is not very large. Has this shitty desk, a lot of paperwork on strewn about. But the entire back wall is a window pane that lets the Overseer overlook most of the complex from here. The Overseer himself is quite obviously a tech priest,
Makes sense.
who, unlike most, does not seem to have any overt modifications.
They must all be the internal ones.
Possible. But at the very least, you can't see any biological modifications.
I remember my fucking...
It's my tech priest from your previous campaign.
The tech priest I played back in the Exodius campaign, the second one, I just went for all of the brain implants that you just couldn't see. Like, I didn't even have a mechadendrite. My character was just a fucking math whiz, was this whole thing.
I mean, it is possible that he could just be so low-ranking a member that he doesn't have any augmentics yet.
That's possible, yeah.
He could, but then he probably wouldn't be an Overseer.
Yeah. Does most of those...
But how elaborate his robes are.
They seem to be of rather good quality.
Yeah.
Like, they have a fine thread count, they're not threadbare as a lot of the usual low-ranking mechanicals seem to be.
Nice cog symbol etchings along the
Exactly.
edges.
Hmm.
Or embroidery, rather.
He looks at you and motions you closer to the desk. Hello?
Hello.
I am Overseer Vault. I have control of this complex. And you are finally sent here to investigate this issue then?
Yes.
Lovely, about time.
Quick out-of-character question. It was mentioned that we should not harm the quartermaster. Who is
Correct.
the quartermaster? Is it Volt or someone else?
That would be someone else.
I sort of figured and hoped. Great.
You figured that well, you're about to find out. So, he looks at you. This has been going on for months at least, and it's getting rather annoying. My superiors are riding my ass over the missing supplies, and I can't tell them anything, so I need you to investigate this.
Alright.
Right.
When exactly
Understood.
did the product go missing?
Stuff was missing from this warehouse all the time. And it's quite frankly abominable.
Well, I
There's
imagine
missing,
so.
there's missing components, missing growth agents, missing everything. Sometimes inventory shows up that we never even got delivered, and it's then promptly given to someone who apparently ordered it at short notice. It is impossible to conduct proper business in here.
Excuse me for a moment. There is a shit ton of yelling going on in my house. I'll be right back.
Indeed, and when these disappearances started to increase.
Oh, they've really mounted in the last 6 months. We've lost so many servitor components. I have no idea where they're going or who's even stealing them or selling them to.
Were there any changes in your workforce somewhere around that time?
There's changes here all the time. Laborers sometimes have accidents. You know, it happens. Old laborers stop, new laborers start. They get worn out a bit. Some go away for treatments for a while. The lower echelons are in flux.
Of course. But perhaps someone with a bit more access?
Well, I think the last time we changed one of the quartermasters was around 2 years ago. I've been barely longer here myself.
Is there a time frame? Does the Zimby go missing during transit or just
Cutting
not
out pretty
during the
badly for me right
warehouse?
now, Connor. Could you repeat that?
Well,
Try in text format.
I did hear him, but I already goddamn forgot what he said.
Oh, well.
He's probably just restarting Discord.
Yes.
Let's see.
Speak to us, O'Connor.
I'm back.
Excellent.
Do I sound
How
better?
are you your
For
speaking
now.
words?
You sounded fine, it's just that half a few words were missing.
Try speaking a longer sentence. Try and describe what you were just saying to us.
Is there a time frame where the shipment seems to be going missing? Like during transit or just disappearing from the warehouses?
Are you
That's
asking
what
him
I'm
that,
trying-
or is that
that's
an
what I was
out-of-character question?
Aurora
Do we
already-
know that information?
Yes, Aurora does know. Well, you wouldn't probably know because you just arrived and we probably didn't.
Yeah, so yes, I would be asking that in character.
But it's actually a pretty good thing because Aurora has basically, air quotes, the right answers, so it's pretty good to verify as well. Is he?
Alright, I'm
Yeah,
back.
always
Yeah.
double check.
Yes.
Young lady, I
Yes.
don't care about stuff that goes missing in transit. If it doesn't arrive here, it's not my problem, and the moment it leaves our doors, it's not my problem. But all those things that go missing inside the warehouses, I have to sign off on those. I have to explain the missing stuff to my superior.
Let's see.
Last week we lost an entire batch of samples that were supposed to be made to be used for Warbeat's production. You have any idea how much paperwork that was?
No, though.
I'm absolutely tempted to roll bureaucracy to know how much paperwork that was.
Go ahead.
Fuck that
You get a plus
paperwork.
30 bonus on that, because you have a vague idea. You figure that each item needs to be signed off in triplicate.
Ooh.
You also figure that a delivery might have up to 1,000 pieces in it.
Do we have like a
I quickly cross-reference the manifesto that I have, and with after a moment of slight mental arithmetic, I mentioned somewhere around 3,276 pages.
That is remarkably accurate. You're short by about 200, but that's pretty good.
this is kind of a dumb question, but do we have like a frame of time when these items go to missing? Usually.
He said since 6 months.
Yeah, but like during the day, night? Anything in terms of like...
You do not, because it's not known when they go missing. In fact, I mean, a good deal of them aren't even noted as missing. Some are noted as having never arrived, and some are noted as missing, some are stolen, or noted as stolen. But you can't really tell when something has gone missing.
I see.
How frequent is the supplies going missing? Every week, every day?
It feels like there's something missing every day. I barely get up to date with all the forms I have to fill out just for missing stuff. It's an emperor damn disgrace.
It feels like every day.
And he's the one directly overseeing this stuff, or does he have like subordinates? Out of character. Actually, no.
Out of character, you don't know.
Yeah, never mind. I was like, wait. Barbara asked out of character. I was just gonna ask: do you directly oversee this stuff, or do you have subordinates who handle it for you?
I'm the overseer of the entire complex. Each warehouse has its own quartermaster, under which the foremen work, who in turn direct the workers.
Let's see, does this warehouse complex ever close down?
Never.
Constant
We get deliveries
stream.
night. We give out deliveries in the night, the day as well. It's a 24/7, work here.
I see. Do you have like a security feed system that I could get access to and take the videos and take a look at them?
I'm afraid not. Having enough servo scouts flying around to surveil the entire complex would be prohibitively expensive.
I see. Would the servitors have any kind of records of these incidents?
Marcus, you do remember that servitors are in fact cyborgs, correct?
Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe accessing their information somehow. I have no idea. Just shooting in the dark, honestly, here. Because sometimes, for example, some servitors do have like recording.
You're referring to servitors who carry pict recorders. Pict recorders basically being recording cameras. He's asking if he can access their, if there are servitors with pict recorders, their databanks. Which I'd imagine, if that was the case, the people here would have already done that.
Yeah, I'm just curious here if we can take an access to them too.
Well, the security servitors do not carry any pict recorders. Their priority is more on the military side of things. They are supposed to deter any threats.
Okay.
Does any one of your warehouses seem to be the one with the most missing supplies, or it just seem to be an average amount from all of them?
Yes, Warehouse C seems to have quite a few more missing supplies, but that doesn't mean that no supplies go missing in the other one.
Okay.
The situation is completely untenable in all of them.
Out of curiosity, would you happen to have any dossiers on your employees? Just so
we certainly do.
Because I'd want to have a look through their backgrounds.
That shouldn't be a problem. We have an archive in the basement. The personnel files should be
That is perfect. We're gonna need to have a look at that at some point.
So, when can I expect you to have caught the culprits?
Honestly, at current, it depends. Depends on a number of factors. If they are hitting Warehouse C more often, that would suggest that wherever they're taking the stuff from, that is the closest warehouse. Logic that would dictate that one's going to be hit more often than not. It also might be the place where the culprit who's taking it works.
Very possible. Though I would be remiss in not mentioning that Warehouse C tends to hold the most valuable components. Some of the most advanced servitor components tend to be stored there.
I see.
Depending on how sloppy this person gets, especially with the high success rate that they've had, that give us max 3 weeks. Probably less if they're very sloppy. This has been going on for months now, correct?
It's true.
Right, surveillance and questioning will have them out.
Aside from the missing supplies, is there anything else suspicious going on here recently?
Tools going
What do you
missing, workers not showing up,
I mean,
even oddities with the servitors.
workers don't show up all the time. That's nothing special.
Anything out of the ordinary been happening nearby, around this area?
Nothing I could think of. You could probably ask the quartermaster and foreman. They're more to the ground than I am.
Let's see. Well, I'm starting to run out of questions. What about you guys?
No, I am clear cut.
I believe I asked all my questions.
I see. Well, may we take a look at the warehouse floor in more detail?
Of course. The facility is at your perusal. If you wish to access the archives, one of my men outside can take you there.
Given the fact that you're the overseer of these facilities, may I request a skeleton key in case some of your foremen are trying to hide something from us?
He looks at you and seems very uncomfortable with that request. I'm going to need further verification on who sent you before that. I'll make the inquiries.
I see.
Understandable. This was a simple request to aid us in our job.
There is no problem. But,
Come by my office tomorrow, and if I'll have the affirmative, I'll have...
Alright.
I would actually like to go over your basic process. See how the deliveries are handled and signed off.
Absolutely, just ask one of my quartermasters, and they'll walk you through the process.
right. Do you have a detailed listing of the shipments here on site?
Yes, but those listings can be a few hours out of date.
I see. Well, I could take a look at those
Well,
two. If
especially for the highly sought after materials.
yes,
Like
if you don't mind.
stuff that gets used a lot, like the growth agents, that stuff documentation tends to be vastly out of date. Because there's just so much coming in and going out.
Yes, of course, but may I take a look at that too?
Of course. Anything older than a day should be in the archives. The more up-to-date stuff will be in the warehouses.
Oh, guys, out of character, I have literally no more ideas.
Well, we can always return.
Other than the classic investigator line, who do you suspect?
Press
No,
Y
it's
to
always-
doubt.
No, you should always accuse them and then see if
Can I press doubt?
what they answer. Yeah.
Yes. You accuse them of lying first because you can back out of it, and they'll always have a very obvious tell. Like, I bet you haven't had a single shred of evidence that I'm married to Hitler, and then you pull out the Hitler marriage certificate. Just got a little paper. It's got the fucking stash and everything.
Yup.
I too know that Yahtzee reference.
Mm-hmm.
If there's nothing more,
Oh, not for now. We'll contact later if we come up with any more questions, if that is acceptable.
you don't see you very well then.
And I guess we take his contact information.
We add him on LinkedIn.
We shall add him to.
We added him on Discord.
Yes. No, we added him on Vulcan, the Warhammer 40k version of Discord. Really friendly.
So I guess I'll go to the archives. What about you guys?
You're going down to the archives?
Yes. I figured that I should take a look at those logs to see if anybody has tampered with them. I'm not too good with paperwork, so if anybody, unless it's on a computer, I could see if there's logs stripping off the records. But if anybody knows about paperwork, I would appreciate the help.
Well, that is sort of my speciality.
Kirby and I could go check.
What I
some of the
suggest is you guys take a look at around the warehouse floor to see if anything is out of the ordinary and question the quartermaster in the meanwhile.
Okay.
Sounds like a good way to approach this, but Kirby, you're in command, I believe.
It's as decent as any. Well, let's move out.
Autobots roll out.
Room, room.
Vroom, vroom. Carts will out the room.
So, Zebediah is led to the archives by one of the guys outside of the office, while the rest...
And
Do you want to go to the quartermaster of Building C or any of the other ones?
I think Aurora came with me into the archives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, Aurora's coming with you. The rest? Which quartermaster?
Do you want to go to C or do you want to go to one of the other ones?
Let's go to C.
Alrighty then. So, Aurora and Zebediah are led down into the archives. What exactly are you looking for?
Is there logs here? Like, on paper or
There's many logs on many different things.
Like data slates, computer?
It is both data slates and a lot of paper reports.
Lovely.
So,
Like, remember how he told you that he has to fill in every single item in triplicate?
We found the triplicates.
One of those copies is down here.
what I like to
each
do,
item.
this is a long shot too, but I'm gonna use tech use on the data slates to see if there's any kind of like tampering with the information, if that's alright.
Sure.
Like any kind of can I use fate point to get pass on that?
You can use a fate point to reroll that.
Alright, god damn it. So close. So close.
Marky Moon need a hug.
I'm always so pissed off when that happens, when I have such a high chance of success.
We understand your pain.
Unless I have a bonus.
Marcus, just reroll it for fuck's sake. Stop talking.
No.
God damn it, Marcus.
That's why I was asking unless I had a bonus.
The bonus isn't going to help you there.
Not in that one.
Hugs,
On the first one it would've.
Hugs, Marcus. Remember, if you don't think in the past, there is something called the assist action.
One
You
would
can
have
help
to have
each
a
other.
trained skill first.
I don't
Yeah,
think
sure.
Aurora might have tech use trained.
I do not.
Ah, sadness.
For Marcus, the data slate in your hand turns... the screen turns black.
Hey, that's not a crit fail, that's a 96 on a crit fail.
I'm aware.
You have managed to find the power button.
You have indeed accidentally hit the on rune.
I'm like, oh god damn it. I set down the data slate for a little while and I just like held my own head and be like, oh god fucking damn it, this.
Aurora, what are you looking for?
So, what I was thinking was to go over the procedures that they will follow, assuming that someone is working from the inside to divert any sort of shipments. I'd like to know what the process is, who is in charge, and then start going over each of the cases of the missing supplies to see who would have been the contact persons responsible for signing them over as missing, and potentially the closest persons around the chain, the activity chain, basically. See if I can find some people who happen to be mysteriously always present when these go missing.
Alright, so you can definitely find a copy of the operating procedure as it should be. Though, of course, that doesn't tell you if that's actually how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You also check the reports of shipments that were later confirmed missing for any people who may have been more often involved. Some of the foremen are involved a bit more often, but nothing extreme. Like nothing that would say one of the foremen is involved in 80% of those missing cases.
Alright.
But you can definitely tell that some of the foremen are more often involved in missing shipments.
Well, that could still be accounted for by statistical variance.
True.
And they were basically being lost in all types of situations, either those which were never arrived here and others which were lost whilst they were supposedly in the warehouse.
Correct.
Yes.
I'll
we
have
do
to
disable.
ruminate. We can join the other team for the moment.
Alright then.
Tell you what, I'll give, well, since I failed with the tech use, I'm gonna do this the manual route, and I'm gonna use logic for the paperwork to see if anything is out of place on the paperwork.
For fuck's sake, Marcus.
Learn
Did you
to roll
fail
better.
again? God damn it, Marcus!
Yeah, I mean, don't you go to dice rolling gym?
Apparently not! I mean, at least
Do you
that's...
even lift them dice?
Terrible, absolutely terrible.
Do you have fate points left?
I'm tempted to be like, alright, I'll roll security, but yes, I do have fate points left, which I will use, because otherwise I would assume that those papers would get messed up. Well, not that badly, but... Finally!
There we go! Alright, Marcus. With that roll, you can tell two things. One, cross-referencing the written reports with the data slates. They do not always match up. It seems that some of those losses have been downplayed or have not been noted. So there's discrepancies that have not been reported. And there's a rather massive factor of damaged parts that has also not been reported. Like, you know that stuff has gone missing, that stuff has presumably never arrived or been stolen, but a lot of arrows for the growth agent you're looking for, and very few other things actually, have been noted as damaged, broken, destroyed, spilled, whatever.
Okay. One last question. Can I take like a copy of these data slate archives to come over later?
You can.
Okay.
You have been given permission. Oh, and one more thing you can tell. Since you rolled logic with 5 degrees of success, note that you were specifically sent here for Growth Agent C, and most of what the Overseer has reported missing is actually component.
Components?
Yeah. Like mechanical components, stuff you would need to make servitors. That's a lot of the stuff that goes through this warehouse complex.
So, yeah.
So he may be talking about a different issue altogether.
Very
Or
minimal.
those issues may be related. You can't really tell which one it is yet.
Well, I know that there's like a black market on this planet. Well, obviously there is,
Oh,
but it...
obviously. There's a black market for many things.
Since, yeah.
There's even a very black market.
This ain't a very black Marcus.
No.
Now that I don't.
Unfortunately, no.
You don't want a chocolate Marcus?
What exactly is the purpose of the question? Do you want to know if there's a place someone could sell these things?
Yeah, I was
Do you want to know if you can buy some of these?
might this be like a for-profit thing?
Oh, absolutely. Someone could sell those components for profit.
But my thing was like, I was thinking
That
about, like,
is the obviously most likely possibility of what happened here. Someone is selling off some of the merchandise for
yeah,
profit.
that's my line of thinking right now, but I doubt it a little. Yeah, I'll let Aurora know about my findings. I would imagine that the rest of the group is out of microbeat range.
Oh no, you're still within the same complex. This complex is big, it's not a mile big.
So I'm debating
But
if it's safe to use it here or not. The microbead.
Now that's a very different question altogether. While you deliberate on that, we'll go to the other group.
Good. I'll be right back in that case.
Caribbean Ember. You go to Warehouse C, where you can easily find one of, the quartermaster, after simply asking literally anyone around.
Okay.
He's currently busy directing 2 of the foremen, telling them where to put one of the shipments.
I'm looking over at Amber. I'm like, how do you want to approach this?
You seem a bit more sociable. I'll let you lead. I'll be there to back you up. Because I am not a good talker.
Alright.
And I'm trying to figure... I'm thinking of something. We can just hear him talking, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's currently telling these 2 foremen that they are supposed to put the barrels in that corner, the crates over there to the other ones. And why the fuck is there 21 crates if only 19 were ordered?
I have a question. Could I roll Common Lore Underworld to see if he's trying to suggest something else? Can I see if he's speaking thieves' camp?
Absolutely.
Well, the one time fucking rolling this thing to see if it works. Fuck it, I just spent a fate point.
And you're almost better than Marcus.
I did better than Marcus! I passed on my second try! Yay!
Well, he doesn't seem to be directing his foreman to steal something, though you do note that for some reason he seems to have received 2 more crates than they ordered. And 2 more crates than are on the shipping manifesto.
Okay.
I wonder if that's a logistical error.
Could just be adapts.
Fucking goddamn adapts.
You never know with these adapts.
Yeah, I'll just relay that to my compatriot. Pretty sure he already heard it, but still. I'm keeping a close eye on them. Let's continue.
Alright. I'll walk right up to the quartermaster. Hello. I stick my hand out to kind of shake his hand.
Who are you? What are you doing in my warehouse?
I'm Investigator Kirby. I was sent down to investigate a succession of lost shipments, items that were taken. Mind if I speak with you for a moment?
Great, just what I fucking need. Someone messing around in my stuff while we're doing... What do you want?
I just need a bit of information based on, well, a combination of how some of the items were taken. Do you have anybody that you would think could exactly be holding?
Could be holding?
Well, what I'm referring to is if you have any employees that you suspect could be involved, although no proof.
Yeah.
If
Some
you
of the
think
lads are
any
low.
employees.
Some of the lads are low lives. You can look into them if you want to. I'll give you a list. But let's be honest. Stuff goes missing from warehouses. Things get improperly filed. Sometimes you get too few crates in a shipment. Sometimes you get too many. It's a fucking mess.
Believe me, you don't know the half of it.
Sometimes documentation vanishes that was done properly from shipments that went out, and those are labeled as missing. It happens.
It does. It does. Anyways, any particular employees besides just what you're going to give me from the list?
All right. See the guy over there?
Um,
Burly, bald. Well, that describes half of them. But the one with a sort of scaly skin?
Yeah.
That's Greg. He's been here for a few months. He's a bit of a low life. Drug problem, probably, if you ask.
Looks like it.
Then again, that itch may not just be drugs, and could just be his. You sometimes get that with sheepers and modifications.
I'd imagine so.
He also has a friend, Peter, who has been here for a good deal longer. Almost 2 years, I think. He's also been the shifty sort. Nobody really likes him except Greg. If you want to, feel free to look into them.
Any particular place they congregate?
Well, I usually don't give my people enough time to congregate anywhere. As for what they do in their free time, I wouldn't know.
And what would you say the exact frequency of the items that are taken on a fairly routine basis? Are there any days where it's higher than others?
I mean, I'm not even sure they're taken per se. Again, a lot of that is probably just misfiling.
That's true. Still, though, every bit helps.
If items really are being taken, honestly, I haven't seen a big pattern, but there's a higher trend towards the end of the night. Could just be the fellas being tired, though.
Can I roll scrutiny on him?
Oh, absolutely.
I pass!
Well, of course, Connor, because I've wasted the good bad rolls.
You can tell several things. For one, he thinks you're wasting his time. He doesn't seem to take this seriously as an issue at all. And he really doesn't seem to be interested in it.
Okay.
But he does seem honest to you in what he tells you. Maybe downplaying it a bit on how much goes missing on the end of the night shift.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna tap onto Kirby's shoulder, just kind of whisper the information I got into his ear as quietly as possible. I'm acting as his silent bodyguard or whatever, his muscle.
Alright.
So
I thank you for your time. If I have any more questions, I'll come to you. Or I'll just report to your boss if it's
He's already turned around and stopped listening.
Dick.
I feel like hitting him in the kneecap.
Don't do that.
I won't. Either way. Shall we check those two people you told us about, or look around this place a bit? Fair enough, let's go.
We'll watch them for a good while.
Alright, so you keep watching Greg and Peter. They seem to be mainly hauling crates around. In the meantime, anything further that Aurora and Zebediah would like to do?
So we have roamed really quickly through these logs and copied them, pretty much. So we can take a look at them later. and hopefully succeed. Without
You've
checks.
copied the data from the data slates, yes. You obviously can't copy all the documents that are here in paper.
Yeah, obviously. Just the important ones. Aurora, any ideas?
Well, we did find that some of the overseers appear to be more implicated in these than the other ones, although everyone appears to have some issues here and there. So it might be that we have several issues. I believe that we need to organize the data first to get a better picture of where the shipments are getting lost at.
Right.
I don't suppose. I'll actually go and check if the original destinations of these shipments are in any way connected. Perhaps it might simply be one tech priest attempting to spite their rivals.
Sounds like a good.
Almost all of the shipments have or should have gone to the local manufactorum. But then again, that's not a big surprise, seeing as this is the warehouse complex of said manufactorum. As for specific tech priests or labs this should have gone to, this warehouse is delivering to all of them. And
so it's a shared stockpile.
Exactly.
I do have a question.
There's like a central hub where the stuff comes from outside and then it's distributed to the entire manufactorum.
These papers and such, are they usually signed by like overseer or tech priest or some kind of
Yes.
Compare signatures. Are any of them forged?
I'm pretty sure there is a skill for that.
Yes.
I believe that falls under scrutiny?
No.
Yes.
Actually, I don't. Chris, did the trade cryptographer work for this situation?
Cryptography?
Yeah.
It's for deciphering puzzles, codes, and creating them.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
This is not exactly a
If you were
puzzle or
using
code.
Cryptography to decipher a code, i.e. Morse code, some sort of...
Well, I do have scrutiny, so I could
Scrutiny is also
definitely give it a whirl.
I don't... It does have its own skill, but yeah, scrutiny might work.
Scrutiny is the thing.
Right.
That's the base.
Give me a
skill.
scrutiny with a +10. Both of you.
Okay.
That reminds me, just out of curiosity, those 2 extra crates that they got in the warehouse, did they put them off to the side or something, or
They
what
put
do
them with the
do
others.
them?
They put all of them in the same stack.
Okay.
All
God damn it, Marcus!
I just take a look at the
Zebediah-
signatures and I'm like,
Zebediah, literally everything here looks like chicken scratches to you. Aurora, you actually notice several forms that have the same name of the overseer, but vastly different signatures. And the signatures still look roughly the same, but you can tell that's not the same person.
Right. Well.
Okay. And one last question from me, at least for now, is there like a person that seems different from the rest, like somebody who has signed these papers, who shouldn't have like maybe the authorization to sign these kinds of papers? That's kind of a far out question, but like somebody from a completely different department has signed on these papers, or somebody who's not really involved with this kind of stuff.
There's some minor cases, like a quartermaster from warehouse B has signed for a shipment that listed warehouse C as the recipient, but you're not sure if that is an error on the form, so if the warehouse C is incorrect or if the wrong person took the shipment.
Okay. Just making sure. Who seems to order the most stuff?
I'll be right back and get some drink.
Oh,
I mean-
easily the most stuff goes to the replication labs, which is where proven designs of war beasts are replicated.
Does this state which of the warehouses receives the most stuff? Well, you might have said C.
C tends to get the most valuable components, as in the harder to get parts of the servitor. Stuff that isn't just screws, but actual logic circuits. But as for most of the stuff, it's just whichever warehouse has the highest capacity at the moment.
Okay.
But then we'll go back to the people shadowing Greg and Peter, who seem to be nearing the end of their shift. You still just watching them?
Current, yeah. I'm kind of looking over kind of who they chat with.
They chat mainly with each other. You get the feeling that neither is very liked among their peers. Give me an awareness.
Oh, okay. I unfortunately cannot roll for the our faithful companion right now, but I can roll for myself. Oh yeah, better than Marcus, 100%.
You see Peter pocket something.
Off of another employee, completely, or
Oh no, something that seems to have fallen next to the crates.
all right. I'm gonna watch what he does with it.
Puts it in his pocket and then keeps working. Like nothing ever happened.
All right. As soon as the both of them kind of exit, I'm gonna like as soon as like they finish their work schedule and they exit the warehouse, I'm gonna confront them.
Hey, who the fuck are you?
Never mind who the fuck I am. What'd you pick up off the ground there, boy?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I saw you. Picked up something right up in between those crates. What'd you put in your pocket?
Yeah, well, that's none of your fucking business.
Oh, it's 100% my fucking business. You stealing from the warehouse, boy?
You accusing me of stealing, boy?
I am indeed accusing you of stealing, boy.
He's cracking his knuckles.
I dare you to take one step towards me.
Boy.
That threat?
I see you
takes a step
cracking your
towards you.
knuckles.
He very much takes an aggressive step towards you.
I quick draw my hand cannon and point it directly at his face.
Whoa! Easy there, easy. No need for that.
You were thinking you were a big man a second there, boy.
Yeah, well, I'm also not the one drawing pistols on random people.
Well, I'm not drawing it on a random person. I'm drawing it on you. I'm watching you all day, boy.
Some
Now
kind
you
of
gonna
stalker?
start. Now you gonna start being truthful with me?
Look, sometimes things fall beside the. Ain't nobody hurt by it.
Ain't
Things
nobody
just
hurt by it.
fall off a truck sometimes.
How long you been stealing stuff that's fallen off the trucks?
Ain't stealing, you know. It's
Then
just
what would you call it?
redistribution.
Redistribution of components, tools, and resources that don't belong to you.
Look, it's just a little thing, barely a few thrones. It's hard enough to make a living here.
It's hard to make a living just about anywhere. Doesn't mean you can go around stealing.
Yeah, but few places have paid this shit.
You think you get? I think you can get better pay anywhere else.
Probably the less dangerous one.
The more dangerous work you do, the better your pay is. That's just the law of the land.
Oh, yeah, well, this place is plenty dangerous and the pay's shit. So sometimes we supplement it.
We,
Come on, everybody does it.
everyone here, everyone you know.
Sure.
Who else does it? Out of curiosity.
Look, man, everyone does it sometimes.
Anyone specific?
I mean, quite a few of the boys.
Which boys?
Well, I rarely see the foreman do it, but us haulers, if something falls beside the way, it's fair game.
So you're saying most of the haulers are the ones who are taking it?
Yeah, just one thing every once in a while. It's not a big deal.
I'm back.
So, if you want some kind of an update of what's currently going on, Peter pocketed something that fell in between the crates. It's one of the product. I waited till they finished their their shift, then I confronted them on it. Now he's just admitted that just about most of the boys pocket shit that falls in between the crates. And he's apparently also seen the foreman do it occasionally.
How often is occasionally?
Maybe once every
Oh
few
goodness
weeks,
gracious,
months.
the yelling has resumed in my room. 1 second.
Go smack them.
Alright, Connor, you're in lead of the questioning.
Oh, fuck. That's not good.
Make me proud, son.
Okay, so... Yeah. So what, he was about to say something?
You asked how often it happens. He said once every few weeks, few months.
Mm-hmm. And everyone pockets something.
It's just
the
awful.
And what do you guys do with what you pocket?
There's quite a few black markets around. You just hand it to one of the traders. He gives you a few thrones for it. It's no big.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for the personal selling.
Yeah. I was thinking of that. So, Well, they give it to him. So yeah, do they know who the merchant sells it to, or none?
I mean, anyone who asks for the component probe,
I don't know.
look, you'd have to ask him.
I'll ask him who's selling his gear to.
Yeah, I'm about to do that. Like, yeah, who are you selling your stuff to?
We just call him the Fat Man. I think his actual name is something like Maximus. We just call him Fatty.
Max.
He has this bakery in the 127th Hab block.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I need you to leave and come out of my computer.
100 head block.
The 127th Hab block, or Hab block 127.
Okay, now repeat that last bit about Colin the Fat Man.
Okay, they just call him the Fat Man. I think his actual name is Maximus or something like that. We just call him Fatty or the Fat Man. He owns a bakery in the 127th Hab block.
And that's where you go to sell stuff you pocket.
Yeah, we just tell him we've got some of the special merchandise for him, and he hands us a few thrones.
You never seen Dale anything in bulk, right? Just small stuff you can fit in your pocket.
I don't buy from him. I just give him a component or two sometimes.
Okay. Let me think. Let me think for a moment, because I haven't done an interrogation on this in a hot minute.
Tell me where the bomb is.
Starts beating him. Proper R-right tactic. No.
Don't you say that you roll interrogation.
Let me think for a moment. And he's the only buyer within this area, or is there more than just him?
Oh, sure, there's more. It's just the guy I sell to. Well, Greg and me.
Okay. And I'm assuming he doesn't know much about any other merchants, huh?
He does not.
Okay. I don't want to send him off till Chris gets back, so cut to other people. Other people, do something important.
Zebediah and Aurora, anything you want to do?
How about this dumb question about the destinations? What kind of destinations these shipments are going to? Like, you said the mechanicals. Is there like what, for example, are the other destinations that these shipments are going to?
There's a few shipments labeled for other storage complexes in different manufactorums. Those are mainly shipments of things that are assembled here and then sent somewhere else for further use.
I see. What about here? Is there like a destination that seems out of the ordinary? Like, say, servitor parts for somewhere completely unnecessary.
Servitor's parts for a bakery.
Well, servitor parts is a bad example. You can basically use them anywhere.
Yeah, true, but
still.
Yeah, you know what I'm going for.
Well, quite a few of the biological reagents and the chemical reagents are going to things that are just labeled as laboratory without actually telling you what kind of laboratory that is. Don't know if you would find that suspicious.
Unfortunately. I guess a little.
Or sometimes just listed as facility and then the name of the facility. But again, a decent chunk of the stuff here is going to the reproductive facility.
Yes.
Oh my, reproduction. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot less sexual than you think. Remind me, Marcus, did I tell you how warbeasts are reproduced? I believe I did tell you.
You might have mentioned it at some point.
I think it was part of your briefing by Megas Altus. But to reiterate, what Growth Agent C actually does in conjunction with warbeasts. If pieces of a warbeast are submerged in a nutrient solution, and enough of the Growth Agent C, they regrow completely from that piece. Meaning to reproduce a proven warbeast, they cut it into pieces, put those pieces into different nutrient solution tanks, add the growth agent, and regrow entire warbeasts out of that.
Oh my god, we're dealing with SCP-682.
Excuse me?
You never heard of it? SCP-682?
No.
It's literally a
What you're
creature.
talking about, but not the, can't recall the number series of all of those.
Okay. Long story short, it's a reptile that it more or less can regrow itself from nearly goddamn anything, given time and meat. Now all I imagine is this entire planet filled with that thing, and I'm fucking terrified. I don't want to be here anymore.
Now imagine that that thing was genetically engineered to take on entire battalions of soldiers.
I mean, that thing is too. It can't die. The damn thing can still talk, even after having 87% of its body destroyed. It will still talk shit to you, and then try to eat you.
Oh good, you're getting the right idea then.
And now there's a cat next to me. What do I do?
You pet the cat?
Pets. She's nibbling my fingers. Am I dying?
Zebediah or Aurora, anything else you want to do before we rejoin the other?
Not here in the archives, so if I do have some time, I do want to take a look at the warehouse floor, because I don't seem to recall that anybody took a closer look at that.
Sure thing.
No.
The warehouse floor, by which I imagine you mean, the first floor?
Yeah, the first floor, like where the main action is going on.
A lot of shelving units, a lot of stacks of crates and barrels, constant buzzing of workers who bring crates, who take away stuff, who load stuff onto pallets and off pallets.
No.
It's a very busy warehouse.
I don't have awareness trained, unfortunately, so I can't exactly do anything here that I wanted to.
You can always still roll it, just tell me what you're looking for.
Sure, I'm just in general looking something out of place.
And now he rolls a natural one.
Not quite.
The barrels are having mismatched colors. They really don't look nice.
I'm like, that one is yellow and that one is blue.
Yeah, there's this off off green next to them. The colors really bite.
Like, I'm thinking of a way to use logic here, but I can't think of really anything.
Aurora, anything you want to do?
I think for the moment, she probably has enough material to just sift through.
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll just go back into the data slates and start combing through them in detail. I'll do like an extended test while we have some time. So I can re-roll it with a bonus.
Right?
You said that they were gone for till the evening, there were other parties, so let's say I take like...
They're in the same complex as you.
Okay,
Marcus.
I thought
You
they
can
were
easily go
in like
for
a different, completely different section of the hive.
They're one warehouse over.
Okay.
Well, I need you to do something, because the other half of the party is gone.
I'm really thinking here.
Actually, let's take this moment to take a 5-minute toilet break. Or get drinks break or whatever.
Yes, that sounds good because I'm really struggling coming up with anything.
And see if Chris and Connor are back by then.
Oh, no. I'm still here. I just didn't know what else to ask him, man. I don't know if Chris has anything else to ask him.
Those are filthy lies and I don't believe you.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Those are filthy lies and I don't believe you.
I will poke you. Don't make me poke you, son.
Anyways, 5-minute break.
Okay.
Alright, is everyone back?
I have blown up the internet. I am sorry.
God damn it, Connor.
I learned it from you.
You had one job.
That's lies. I didn't blow up the internet. I blew up China.
Exactly. What's the difference?
Well, you don't get a real internet in China for once.
That is true. Not the good Japan.
What's the warehouse called that we're in currently? B?
Warehouse C.
No,
No,
we.
you're in Warehouse A, and Chris and Connor are in Warehouse C.
Okay. So let me see. We know the guy.
He's at a bakery. Where is the bakery? Did you give me the location of the bakery or no?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so we know where it's at. Am I missing anything else?
Uh,
Come on, character ask a bit more. I don't know what I could ask. So,
As a group, we've gotten a bunch of leads.
we have.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing something that we can keep track of.
okay, good. Marcus is on the ball.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Because
Does anyone have any other?
It's way too much to keep this all in mind. So instead, I decided to go for this solution. It looks messy, just because I started writing it like 5 minutes ago.
I mean, good enough.
Alright, let's see if we missed anything.
Probably because I'm still writing.
It's growth agency, goddammit.
Whatever! Growth hormone agency, or...
Don't know what hormone is.
I don't remember the street dealer's name. What was he? Joe?
Ali?
Ali.
Old Ali.
What was the dealer's name that we made at the bar?
He didn't give one.
Huh?
He didn't give you one.
Okay.
We were never given one.
All you can identify him by is that his left arm is sort of lizardy.
And the warehouse overseer's name was... I don't remember. This is how bad my memory is, guys.
You've gone crazy.
Who's like another important person that we have met?
Well, we haven't met him, but we have Fat Guy.
Oh, he's already there. I even put in location.
Okay, then.
Marcus, I think your number of tons is a bit off.
Well, dude, I'm just literally writing it now.
It was 20 tons, not 20,000 tons.
Oh!
20,000 tons? Jesus Christ.
20... 2000...
if 20,000 tons of growth agent had gone missing,
I don't think this planet would be a planet, though.
20,000.
I'm pretty sure at that point they would have just exterminated the planet to be on the safe side. Marcus, it is growth agent.
Growth
C.
agent.
Also, removing 1 0 does not turn 20,000 into 20.
I'm doing my best here! I don't see anybody else writing this shit down.
Because it's funnier if you're like... I'm just being a dick. Thank you, Marcus. Hugs.
Here I am trying to give us something to go on.
You're doing good, son. You're doing good.
20,000 tons.
It's still incorrect, you dipshit.
Oh yeah, it is.
How many
I'll just
zeros
add a
did
shit
he
ton of
add?
zeros and then you'll never question it again. No, I'm just kidding here. I'll cheat. To make it a little bit more official. What was the Arbites? Actually, we never met him, so never mind.
His name is Dracon.
I was the local Arbites leader, but since that was taken off the record, it never happened.
One more thing you found in the archives, Marcus, is that a lot of growth agency has been labeled as destroyed.
Oh yeah. And
So the issue may be significantly larger than you were led to believe.
of the destroyed. And
Their names are Peter and Greg, Marcus.
Gives Marcus a hug.
I mean, I know I pulled those out of my ass, but god damn it, Marcus.
Just give Marcus a hug. And time.
I shall leave this uncommented.
oh.
It is factually correct.
What? Oh.
Since I'm playing all these characters, I'm by default the main suspect. I'm also both guilty and innocent.
What else we have found out?
I think that's everything, relatively speaking.
Okay, have I missed anything extraordinary?
The place
The Emperor descended on this world.
Ah,
the Emperor dropped the shit on this world. There's a warp storm.
I'm trying to make us like an investigation notes there. I decided
yeah, I
that
apologize. There was a lot of yelling and arguing that was going on, and I had to put a stop to it.
because
I will forgive you if you step into my shower.
Why are you always trying to gas me?
You just have one of those faces, I guess. Who knows, I think.
One of those gassable faces, eh?
Yeah, it's the nose.
I suppose Sebastian is getting into his early 40s.
That's a mean lie. I'm 25. I only look like I'm 40.
Oh. I've got, like, wrinkles on my forehead, like worry lines.
I mean, yes, but that's because your
21.
body's permanently trying to kill you.
Yeah. And, like... I have, like, one of those distinctive widow's peak, hairlines going on. It's not moving back, I've had it since I was a wee child. It's not going nowhere.
I have a lot of gray hair.
Yeah, no, I'm expected to gray real early. Because that was just apparently common for my family.
Yeah.
I hope you get to gray at all.
I'll get to gray or white by 23, I'm told. It comes in real
I'll
slow.
consider it a victory if you live that long. At this point.
I have faith in
Fall
you.
apart, it seems.
You're not allowed to. I forbade it.
Fuck off you.
I have forbade it.
Anyways, what is going on?
You do not have my permission to die.
How did that discussion with Peter and Greg?
Long story short, basically all the workers sometimes pocket something, to bolster their income a bit because it's shit and the job is fairly dangerous. And they just sell it off for a few thrones.
I'm home.
They gave you the location and name of the guy they sell to. They just call him the Fat Man, and he owns a bakery in Hab Block 120.
Huzzah.
I believe the rest of the information was gained before you left.
Yeah.
What did you do with Peter and Greg?
Nothing yet.
Are we
I'm
still in
talking to them.
Are we still in conversation with them?
Yes. I've been buying time so you can get here so I won't do something bad.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I just heard it. Somebody watching something.
Kai, probably.
Are you,
Someone just imploded.
Kai, are you trying your best to mimic Alterius? Because if you want to do that, just open up Team Fortress 2.
No, I'm actually, I'm sort of intrigued why this has, why Discord has suddenly decided that even though I don't have my microphone feed on, it apparently will pick up any sort of YouTube video I might be looking at and send the audio via Discord.
I had that problem with TeamSpeak once, where when I was muted, it would just send the entire audio of a YouTube video. But it wouldn't do the same if I was not muted.
Can I actually... I'll have to... I want to sample this. Let me just... So tell me if you can hear anything.
fairly quiet.
Silent night.
How about now?
No?
No? Oh,
No.
there it is! I like how we're just getting, like, intermittent, like, hitting of the cymbals.
We get a note every once in a while.
Hmm. Interesting.
IBC to emote.
So, Chris, are there any further questions you would like to ask Peter and Greg? Who, in fact, not called Bob and John, Marcus.
Nah.
Or shall we
Also,
execute you?
Also, it's still only 20 tons of growth agency that have gone missing. You can't.
What number is that now?
20,000, but he wrote out 1,000.
Again?
And now he incorrectly spelled million. The dumbass.
I'm doing something else on the side here. Give me a break.
Oh, I look at the two and I'm like, okay. I am going to overlook this but one time. Just go about your business. Don't ever let me see you do it again. Or I'll shoot you dead.
They fuck off.
Smart.
Well, where to next? Should we go meet up with the others? Or snoop around here a bit more?
The drug fucked up Kirby.
Damn, Kirby. You need some... No drugs, man. No
I need to
drugs.
do all the fucking drugs in the world.
Yeah, do you like my notes?
Do
Thanks,
not
I hate
need
them.
more drugs.
I mean, what?
Damn it. There we go.
Potato.
Yes, that was that was the destination. Well, that's the shipment we're going after. We gotta stop it. Come on, Jason Bourne. Anyways,
Damn it, Marcus.
next on the agenda is we need to look at the dossier of the employees. So that's what we're gonna go do next.
Okay.
Oh no, who's gone?
Oh, we lost it.
Who was gone? Rhythm, save me.
Yellow.
Yo.
Greetings.
I momentarily had to reset my audio settings. Let's hope that this will hopefully fix the problem.
Right
And then everything blows up.
up on the street.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, Mama?
Friday there's another class action going.
For what?
Oh, God.
You being
This
class
one is,
action lawsuit is coming for you?
Hold on, guys. Y'all, I want y'all to hear this.
Failed to provide proper meal and rest periods in accordance with California law. Failed to pay for all time worked and pay our wages due, including overtime compensation due. Did not provide accurate itemized wage statements and failed to provide reimbursement for business-related expenses.
Shit. Which company?
Last time we got $38, remember?
Yes, so apparently I'm part of another class action lawsuit, guys.
So just put that in your drawer with your stuff.
yay.
Okay?
I have to...
You don't have to do anything. Just put it in there because you have it everywhere.
Is working always involving class action lawsuit? God damn.
Oh,
It shouldn't unless your employers are shitty.
Man, it's been a while since we had like a proper investigation notes.
It's been a while since we had one of our American players get involved in a lawsuit.
This is my second one. 2 in 1 year. Dear God.
It's weird how it always happens to the Americans, never to the Europeans.
I think you guys just don't complain.
Yeah.
No, I think we just have proper labor laws.
Yeah, which are
Not
respected.
really, yeah.
Here,
Yeah,
most
yeah.
companies know it's too expensive to fuck with their workers.
Well, usually in the U.S. we outsource our stuff because it's very cheap to fuck with the Vietnamese.
I
The
mean,
Mexicans
the
just don't
initial-
care.
The initial fuck might be very cheap, but the STD treatments back home.
That's true.
Also, every once in a while, you find they have more land mass south of the equator than you'd like.
You know, I still have some friends who were very adamant that we did not lose the Vietnam War, and my response to them is, so what is the capital of Saigon called now?
Night, Mama. Love you.
But anyways, what
Immersion.
yes, immersion. We go down to it was a terminal on the lower floor that had the reports of the employees that worked there.
Oh, that's in the
Yeah.
archives.
Okay, yeah, we go to the archives.
On the way there, you meet Aurora and Zebediah, who just came from the archives.
Yeah, we're just gonna look at you and be like, alright. I assume that you have looked with your part of the investigation here.
Most of it. We just need to do one final thing. We need to look at the employee profiles.
Right, we got them right here.
Oh, perfect. And I start opening up and skimming through them. And I look for Greg and Peter. If they have one.
Boba Chef.
God damn it, Marcus. Yep, they sure do.
I point
As
out that
most of the basic workers, their personnel files are fairly short. They've just gotten a basic screening for any ties to organized crime and the such.
and I just point out these two. Just write out. Yeah, see these two?
No.
According to the foreman down at Warehouse C, they are from an unsavory sort of crowd, and upon watching them for most of the day, they pocketed some material. About one of some such.
I see.
And apparently most of the working employees, if something drops on the ground and no one sees it, fair game. And apparently the foreman himself has also done it, although frequency-wise, not often.
Yes.
It is quite common in this hive.
So the real thing is, more or less, how there's these frequent, infrequent pocketing of loose material coincide with the large shipments and whatnot that have been taken.
Okay.
So,
The answer is probably not much.
not much.
Probably not more.
Give me a logic test with a plus 90.
Who?
Anybody, probably.
Chris.
I got this.
Not 100. Failed.
Just now.
Damn it!
How do you have a minus 90?
I
As a
don't.
target, usually.
I don't.
He put plus in it and like.
I put a plus in it.
Anyways,
So let me tell you what exactly I rolled.
you realize that they very distinctively said they pocket something sometimes. The thing that interests you is large shipments.
Yeah,
Especially the things that you were sent here for were large shipments of liquids.
yeah.
That's like
So,
you pocketing.
to illustrate something exactly what I rolled. If not being trained in the skills of minus 20, that leaves me with an intelligence of 13 plus 90. That leaves me with an intelligence of 104. A target number for 104 for the purposes of this. And then I rolled a 9. So even if I didn't have it, and I was rolling at base, I would have succeeded. So even if I was at the barest representation of it all, a complete and utter fucking moron, I still pulled it off.
Even if you were Peter and Greg, you could have done this.
Yes.
Speaking of, you also distinctly know that they probably aren't smart enough to walk out of here with an entire barrel of stuff.
Yeah.
And not get caught doing it.
Well, we found some interesting things in the paper, like, for example, we found out that the signatures don't quite match up all the time.
Interesting. So, falsified records. Do you have any leads? Have you brought the falsified signatures to the runner of this facility?
No.
Not
I
quite
don't think
yet.
that we should.
You don't trust
At least
them?
not yet.
I don't know. Then, in addition, in the paperwork, there was quite a portion of the shipment that was labeled destroyed, but I highly doubt that they skipped the case and it was just taken off.
Now, see, the biggest problem that we're going to currently face in this investigation at current is the fact that the foreman, at least in Warehouse C, where a large portion of the thefts have been taking place, is being heavily downplayed by the foreman.
Yes, he doesn't seem to care about them. Thought we were wasting time by questioning him.
In addition, it seems that here was quite a bit of servitor parts, gears and such in this warehouse that were also missing. Could be a black market ring going around.
There is
Certainly possible.
we didn't know what.
No.
What do you want to do exactly? We could run a surveillance op, scope the place out over the next week for any kind of movement during the night and during the day. Someone's bound to do something if we can check almost every angle.
Possibly, unless we already tipped them off by coming in here and announcing our presence.
That
Still.
is true.
We could also check out the guy they're selling the pocketed
We
items
should
to.
check
He
out
might have
the
a
black
bigger buyer.
market. Those sorts of people have quite a bit of information. Even though they might not be the cause of the main issue here.
You know this planet better than I, you being a native. You wouldn't happen to know any information brokers, would you?
There is a guy, but
I know a guy.
Who knows a guy?
Who knows
Who
a
knows a
guy?
guy? Who knows a guy? Who knows a woman? Which is strange, because they usually don't know nothing.
Since we noticed that some of the records are falsified, I'd like to redo my my checkup of the shortlist of foremen or other people in charge, with the assumption that for the falsified records they were not actually the people who were in charge of the shift. Does that change the list of suspects in any meaningful manner?
Okay, let me see if I get this straight. For the documents where the actual missing components do not match up the ones on the electronic database, you want to see who was in charge of those shifts, and if there's a correlation.
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, with the for the missing substance, the growth agent, we apparently had some paperwork which was filed when those shipments were labeled as missing or never having arrived, etc. And for those pieces of paperwork where we found that the signature has been forged, we're going to assume that that person whose signature was forged was not actually in charge of the shift. So basically, with that assumption, we'll rerun and see can we shut away any previously suspected overseers or such.
Okay, let's go through this one by one.
Mhm.
As for the documents with forged signatures, the incoming and outgoing reports are actually almost always signed with the name of the foreman who was on duty at the time. However, there's also some of the, especially of the destroyed product kind, who are fairly obviously forgeries, and those do not tend to match.
Right. If we take out the destroyed, or single out the destroyed shipments, how much does the total of lost products become if we were starting from 20 tons?
If you go for the assumption that all of the destroyed product was actually sold off, the tonnage increases about 3.5 tons. But do note that a total of 7 warehouse districts were involved in this. And among all of those, the 20 tons were calculated.
All right.
So if you go by the vague assumption that the others may have as much as that, your total tonnage of missing growth agent C more than doubles.
Concerning.
Right. And the right, because they were because the destroyed shipments were not being calculated as lost. Because
Correct.
they we know where they are. They got evaporated. Right. Okay. Well, in that case. Well, that is a slight concern.
Alright, I'm back from my bathroom trip. What have we decided on? What's the course of action?
Were the majority of forged signatures for the destroyed shipments?
Night shift. Easily night shift.
Okay.
Like a full 3/4.
Okay. Right. Well,
you can even time them towards somewhere between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. is the vast majority.
All right. How many overseers or such people do they have on their roster? What's the total?
Total or active at any time?
Suppose total, because we're looking at the rotation of people. Don't know if they have a dedicated night shift personnel, or are they rotating everyone in triple shifts?
They're rotating. The ones marked as foremen, there's 29 of them total.
All right. And every foreman is expected to work night shifts at some point.
Correct.
Right. So that basically gives us 29 suspects. We could, unless they are being exceedingly clever, we could probably immediately rule out those foremen whose signatures have been forged. At least for now. How many foremen do we have left?
It cuts down to about 13.
Well, that's a good start. Right. So we have 13 suspects who might have forged the signatures for the missing.
Do we have the personal files for them? Can we take a look at the personal files for this 13?
Absolutely.
Does any of them in the past have any kind of a
Wait.
record
Oh my god.
of doing something wrong? Or outright extremist ideas or anything like that?
If they
Some
had
minor
extremist ideas, they would not be overseers.
Correct. Some minor charges, often related to drug use, minor drug use, but they have been a lot more carefully vetted than the common haulers. So there's nothing really incriminating in their pasts, according to the files.
Let's see.
I have a question.
Yes?
We have a couple documents with 4 signatures on them, right?
Yes?
Out of those 13 suspects, could we get access to a document they've been known to sign and compare the handwriting to figure out who might be similar?
Absolutely. There's plenty of those in the archives.
Yeah. Because if someone's forged, compare, at least not my character, this, but probably the dialogue is going to try to see, oh, the way these people are writing their letters, these must be the exact person who's doing this, to help cut it down a bit more.
So, I have had quite a long time now to take a look at the data slates. May I try and attempt again to see if there's been any modifications in the data slates?
Sure.
And this has been an extended test, so may I have like a +10 for that?
That's acceptable.
100. 100.
1.
Can I spend a fate point to gain a +10 for that, so I can finally say that I passed something?
No, because I find it amusing that you keep failing.
Marcus!
Also because that's not how fate points work.
I know!
Yes.
Marcus!
Mainly because I find it amusing that you keep failing on this.
I mean, I do still have 2 fate points left, so...
Marcus, you are currently
Wait,
constipated.
Marcus, how
You
many
have
fate
failed to
points do
pass
you have?
anything.
Wait,
Mark,
4.
Oh, you have 4? Fuck. Gee.
Yeah, I've managed to get the Emperor's Blessing thing.
The heretic with Emperor's Blessing.
I know, right? Fuck
This
it.
is where we come to.
At this point, fuck it, honestly.
I mean, you are a heretic and
You can still spend a fate point to reroll.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I mean, honestly, how often can a person fail with rolls? That's...
You tell me.
I suppose we're going to find out.
You just jinxed it.
Okay, this was a failed campaign. I quit. Bye, guys.
Goodbye, Marcus.
Marcus, come back here. Hugs.
I don't know what the fuck is...
What is he attempting to do currently?
I'm trying to find out...
Trying to figure out if any of the documents have been edited.
Edited
Hold on,
or
hold
mixed or...
I'll give it a crack shot in the dark. Let's
And then you roll a
see.
1.
The next thing that I'm gonna do when I get XP, I'm just gonna get that deck used to up all the way.
See,
After
Marcus?
After
Marcus?
the repeated failures and the 5 degrees of failure here, the datapad fries.
Aww.
Hold on, wait.
I wish you guys would have assisted me with that first one. I would have gotten a
We
pass.
can't. We don't have it trained.
Marcus,
Hold
you
on.
know that in order to gain XP, you have to actually succeed in something.
That's true. Hold on, I want to see if I
For
spend a fate
fuck's
point.
sake, guy.
If I spend a fate point.
You know,
let's see.
if this was Dungeon World, I'd like to let you know that you get rewarded with XP for fucking failing.
I have succeeded once during this session, guys. Once.
What you're saying is Marcus is now the most experienced.
Yes.
Yeah, in Dungeon World, you gain XP for completely failing the roll, because you learn from your failures as as the system entails.
So, you now have a broken datapad.
God damn it.
Data slate, I mean.
I hope you backed up that information.
We did.
It's actually a copy of the archive information.
Okay, I want you to back it up at least 3 more times and try again. And this time, if you fuck up, I'm going to fucking push that button.
I swear to God, it's somehow my luck. Both as a DM and a player, it's just non-existent.
Marcus, I once had a session where I had an above 33% rate of rolling natural ones in D&D. So just remember that one. In the meantime, I believe you people want to compare signatures. Would someone like to give me some sort of skill check?
Let me see. I have scrutiny.
I would offer logic, but knowing my luck, I'm not gonna even attempt.
Could I
Scrutiny
assist someone
sounds good.
with my
Scrutiny?
Yeah, I have scrutiny. Can I assist someone with that, or
I'm just gonna give it a shot in the dark. Oh, look at that!
Good boy.
does the dialogue have scrutiny?
Actually, despite the fact I'm not trained in it, I'm actually a god.
Hi, do you have scrutiny?
I do.
So, this
You do
not
not?
being trait scribe, which is what usually would be used for this, you don't get a complete answer, but you can narrow it down to 3 that look very similar.
Wait, oops, wrong thing. Still would have failed, but wrong test.
So what are the 3 that I kind of narrowed down?
You narrow it down to 5.
I thought I narrowed it down to 3.
Yeah, but Connor narrows it down to
Oh.
5.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I fucked up, so I did a few because of the confusion.
But no, I think it's 5, he thinks it's 3, so we're just gonna start piggybacking off each other.
I'll make.
Like, you
I'll
point
make
out
a
these-
case.
He points out these 5, and I'm like, fucker, take those 2 out. They don't work.
I'll make a case that as a dialogus, my job is to learn about different languages, and in as such, I would be more trained in recognizing the various curves and patterns of handwriting.
Do it?
That is fair. Can you give me literally any skill check for that?
Is this the moment where someone finally
I
uses
can.
the sticks?
Trade a dialogus
That works.
with a couple of degrees of success. See, Marcus, it's not that difficult.
You look at the 3 signatures that are being shown to you, and you think, this one is probably the most likely. This just fits a bit better than the other ones.
I believe that we have a suspect. I pull out the file from the 3, and whose name is on the lucky
Is
win
Foreman
card?
Jonathan Gertis.
Gerthus.
Gertis. Gertus.
Right. Let's
Is he
check on
massive?
the current work shift. You know, timetable, whatever. When is his next shift?
That will be tonight. The night shift.
The Emperor provides.
Oh, that's good.
Gertis. Jonathan Gertis.
I also...
I love how I actually spelled it for you guys, and you still all got it wrong.
Hey man, not my fault.
Gertis.
Right.
Although, yes, I could have called him Massive Gerthus.
Well, yeah, well, no, you said his name was Gerthus, and I just asked, like, is he massive?
I did not hear that, but yes, yes.
He is
Okay,
in
go
fact
in
a
there.
rather large man.
We're gonna like sit there and examine, like waiting for him to come in. He's just like 6 feet
Oh, no.
9.
No, he's small of stature, but he is massive.
Ah. He's like 5 inches. He's like 5 feet tall, but he's like 20 feet wide.
Well, let's just say that some people compensate small things with big things. His body is small.
Ah.
His body is
But his heart
he
is
carries
big.
a heavy suburb.
His dick is 3 inches long, but 10 inches wide. They call him the dung bell.
God damn it. That's just a fucking dinner plate.
I don't know this. It's always...
It's the most famous penis in the fucking Hive district.
You realize that's canon now.
It's would happen any other way.
Okay, now I need to find this.
What, a fucking 3-inch long but 10-inch wide dick? Is that what you're looking for, Marcus?
No, there was a story on the internet about this guy who had a really long dick, and he made a song about how long his dick was.
My dick touched the water, splash. Is all I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's canon now.
Oh. So we'll wait until nightfall, setting up what we can.
What do you want to set up?
Pick recorders, mostly.
You can easily enough requisition those.
Okay.
Marcus, give me tech use, please.
Please don't blow them the fuck up.
I give Marcus the lucky symbol of my tribe on his shoulder. The Emperor protects you.
Like a Heim.
You get a +10 on the roll, if that matters.
I bet it wouldn't matter even if you gave me a +50.
Do the rain dance. Do the rain dance song.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Happy, happy.
Let's see.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It's another 99.
I do have a single fate point left.
Somehow, I think you could make it worse, but against my better judgment, reroll that, please.
Fucking balls, Marcus. You have to make one skill check this session.
I have made one. It was the logic test on the fucking papers.
Okay,
You have
Marcus.
to make a second one.
Okay, Marcus. Against my better judgment, reroll that.
Don't suppose I can make this an extended use and get a +20?
No.
No.
Roll the fucking skill check.
Any day now, Mark. You.
The Emperor hates you. The
Okay.
Emperor utterly despises you
Are
to the
my
point that you lose
rolls
the fate
broken?
point.
No.
No.
It's
There we
just
go.
when I need to roll for something, it seems that Roll20 is against me.
So I'm going to presume
I have
that means that Marcus just completely and utterly improperly set them up.
I would
Yep.
like to point out that Marcus is
Not
slow.
quite, because that
and
needs
he
6
has-
degrees of fail, but yeah, I don't get anything done.
He was just being slow, and he has now managed to roll a 99.
Yes, he did.
Good point.
I wish I could use the Master of Hidden Lores for this to gain a plus 20 because it's an unfamiliar device technically.
Mark, Gio, can I try the cameras out? Can I make a tech use test?
You might as well.
To adjust the cameras.
Give me two. One to notice how shittily you put those up, and one to put them back up properly this time.
Yes.
You might as well. I wasted all of the bad rolls. Actually, no, that's
you
6. Oh, don't.
They will materialize to come and get you.
I will
he
fate
doesn't
point
notice.
that. There you go.
Alright, so he notices.
You notice that they are absolutely atrociously set up. You point this out. One
Now
person
Do
in your
that
party,
again.
one person in your party may attempt to reset them.
Well,
Marcus, third time the charm.
Third? That was like my 20th!
well, here goes nothing, lads.
I give you the lucky
He
mark,
already
my
made it,
symbol.
so you might as well not bother.
Marcus, roll attack use plus 10.
Roll it.
Really?
Yes.
Hold.
You're trusting me at this point to make a fucking roll this session.
It was pointed out to you that you fucked up with the cameras. You get one more
You
chance.
see Kirby trying to realign them, but he cannot for the life of him figure
Some
out where...
scrubs playing with your techie toys.
Like, I legitimately am walking up trying to realign
Holy
it, and
shit.
I don't know where to start.
Fucking finally.
I barely made it!
God damn it, Marcus.
Like, legitimately, I walk up, try to realign it, and then I just look back at the group, and I'm like, what the I don't know where to fucking start! I don't know where to start! What have you done?
As I'm finally like, oh yeah.
Zebediah
Fucking
fucking finally realizes that he put down the picture recorder the wrong way. They were pointed at the walls instead
Are
of
you
away from them.
Are you sure you didn't take the drugs? I just had a bad day yesterday. Like, are you sure?
I don't know what the fuck is going on with me today. Every single fucking thing that I have attempted to even fucking think of has gone awry. First, I get fucking captured and tortured, my arm gets busted, my eye gets fucked up, and then this shit happens to me. And then, ever since, I have done nothing but done things the wrong way around. It was so much more comfortable back in the lab. Didn't have to deal with any of this shit.
Okay.
Zebediah.
Nightfall approaches. Yes, DM?
Absolutely. Are you guys taking out the entire thing in addition to the picture recorders?
This is what I'm doing. Did we spot Bobby?
I'll join you. I'll join you if you want me to.
Yes, I want you to look like just, another security guard.
Okay. So I look like another security guard.
Tie your hair up in a bun so you look presentable.
Alright, you can without issue just requisition the local uniforms from the Overseer.
Okay.
He's in full compliance mode.
That's the one thing, I still have mine. From when I worked. But might as well take one for this place.
So, it's evening, it's shift change. Night shift comes in. They're a good deal smaller than the day shift, but have an appropriate amount of work for their size. So there's still regular shipments coming in and going out. Just like regulations say, they check the shipments coming in, their papers, as you keep watching, you sometimes see workers signing in for the shipments that go in or come out, which shouldn't happen, not according to the rules Aurora read at least. Give me a logic test, please.
All of us are just Aurora.
Anyone who was told about these signatures that are forged from the incoming shipments.
So basically everyone.
And also the fact that
What
the
you wanna
people
bet?
whose signature was forged were actually on duty.
You know
Nope.
what?
No.
Go, gadget, fate point. I tried, guys.
I tried. Smart girl, do it.
Marcus, don't.
I probably have the
save the
second
day.
highest into this party, and I would still probably fail.
Well, I don't have logic trained.
Doesn't
So-
matter.
Get that next. Fine.
Nerd, so smart
Oh.
guy, go.
Oh!
There we go, kiddos.
Marcus, you passed 3 tests in one day. I'm proud of you.
3 out of how many?
A
Hey,
lot.
Marcus, I want you to. I'd hate to just deflate your biggest accomplishment today, but look below you.
I know, I saw it.
Marcus, do you need a hug?
No, I did fucking
So-
better than luck.
So, Aurora and Zebediah, with the start, realizes why there's forged signatures of foremen that are actually on duty. They're simply too busy to take in all the shipments, so their subordinates sign with the foreman's name.
Hmm.
So that part is actually, whilst violating regulations, kind of on board.
Right.
That is not
Still-
part of your thefts.
Still, the name that we found through our continued scrutiny and dialogus rolls, that was our. I would assume it was still a very good match from one overseer to several forged overseer signatures.
Oh yes, and
That
again,
is-
those forgeries were on the documents about destroyed shipments, and
Yes.
that's a different thing altogether.
Yes. So that would still be very suspicious.
Absolutely.
Mm. All right. Then let us proceed with our being all sneaky like.
As the hours go by, you notice that usually Gerthus doesn't take the shipments coming in himself. But once or twice there's one that he's particular about taking himself, where he actually taps one of the workers and sends them away as he signs them in and sends them out.
Any weird markings on the ticket? Like, are they like marked with a weird piece of tape or color or anything of the like?
They're just a standard truck.
Standard truck.
There's nothing you can tell that distinguishes this truck from the others.
Okay.
Does the truck smell?
This entire place smells. Are you going close enough to the truck to smell at it?
I was just curious.
Sniff
Might
the
get a
truck.
bonus to his roll so he can fail again.
Look, I don't have awareness, I'm not gonna
I
even fucking
genuinely
attempt.
predict that if you gave him enough points that he could have like a score over 100, he'd roll a 100. No.
I bet that's what's gonna happen. When I increase my tech use, like all the way up, I'm just gonna still keep failing.
Marcus, I'm sorry. Just, you get a cookie. Yeah. So we make our way inside, or just watch the place?
Yes, what should we do?
I'm gonna move in all sneaky beaky like.
You want us to follow suit or stay here?
Well, if he wants to sneak up, I don't think I'll be any use in that. I'll stick up behind slightly and watch his back.
Same. If anything goes wrong, microbeat us and we'll be there as soon as we can.
So where are you trying to sneak?
Basically, I'm gonna go in, and there were crates and like.
So you want to go into the warehouse?
Yes.
Alright. And you want to sneak? So you want to not be seen?
Yes.
Give me a stealth plus 10, please.
Okay.
You might want to fate that.
There you go.
Lovely.
I'm sorry, Marcus.
So you sneak into the back entrance of the warehouse, towards the loading bay, and you watch them load the truck. And sure enough, it's the barrels of growth agents.
Any license plate on a truck?
There is.
How
You can also make out the driver.
How close in vicinity are they from me? Could I say something into my micro bead?
If you whisper, yes.
I whisper the number on the back of the truck for the license plate, and then I just give a description of the man inside of the vehicle. See if it matches up with any employee pictures.
Your friends check the employee records, and this man is actually a former employee. He used to work here about 2 years ago. The truck itself, while it's obviously of the same make as the trucks used by the manufacturer, does not belong to them.
Alright. Do any of the guys who are loading stuff in, do they look armed?
Oh no, it's just the usual haulers. You don't even need to roll logic to know that they probably don't know that this is illicit. This is just a delivery like any other to them.
Okay.
Foreman checked the paperwork. Paperwork was good. Foreman told them to load up.
What the fuck is that?
Voi vittu.
I don't know if I like what I'm looking at. Ugly ass suit.
Voi jumalauta sun kanssa.
That is a ugly ass suit. Oh, I can't watch it. Damn it, Mark.
Se ei ole vittu mun vika.
Lyrics loosely translated to where's the problem when your skill's not enough? Where's the problem when you just can't get it right? Oh god.
Anyways, you have just discovered a definitely not sanctioned delivery of the growth agent C. What are you doing?
Put a tracker on it.
Has the vehicle left?
The vehicle has not left. It's being loaded right now.
Okay. We need to be able to tail that vehicle to wherever location it's going to. I unfortunately do not have a tracking device on.
Remember that we did take a couple of tracker devices back when we loaded that briefcase. We might still have some. Because we only put in one into the...
How am I going to get it on the vehicle without getting exceptionally close and risk being spotted by one of the...
Yeah, that is the question, unless we have like one of those guns that
Tracer
shoots
dart
up.
guns?
Yeah.
You do not.
Damn.
I wish the universe was that.
We could cause a distraction and let you approach it as I whisper into the microbeat.
Am I gonna regret that distraction?
Yes.
Most likely.
You think you're ever going to not regret something Marcus does as a distraction?
Hey! It's
What?
technically a good idea, but with not my luck.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You tell me what the distraction is, and then someone else is gonna fucking do it.
Ideas, guys?
You suggested the distraction.
Out of character. It's an idea, but my thing was like some kind of noise.
Wait, question. Is there a gang activity?
Smoke?
What did you ask, Connor?
Is there gang activity in this area?
In the Manufactorum? No. This is one of the securer places in this place.
Hmm. When in doubt, we could just start.
Me.
Like out of character. When in doubt, start a fire. Something don't be happening.
Pull the fire alarm?
Yeah, we could actually just do that. Pull that. Is there a fire alarm that we can see? God?
Sure.
We could pull the fire
There are
alarm.
warning klaxons that you could activate.
Exactly.
Make
Should we-
some kind of a noise that makes them distracted.
Do you want to knock something over or do you fire a gunshot?
Okay, gunshot seems like a bad idea.
I would reckon that a fire is a bad idea. Do you know some of the chemicals in this place?
True, that might be even worse.
Blow
Exactly.
this whole fucking place up.
Gunshot might
That's why-
be actually now more safer than fire.
No, I'm just
Yes.
gonna pull the fire alarm.
Yeah, we might just pull the fire alarm if it's approachable without getting detected.
At the worst case
You could just
scenario,
pull
they
the fire
start
alarm
panicking.
in a different warehouse.
True.
True. But yeah, I mean, well, as I was saying, but worst case scenario, they start panicking, start rushing, won't pay attention to Senior Kirby sneaking up, throwing something in their van, and then fucking off like a ghost in the night.
Mm,
So that's my suggestion. What is your remark?
I mean, we could do that or the gunshot thing. Maybe that will freak them out a little.
Yeah, but you better hope you're not spotted by the Herpes.
Aurora? Aurora, you have any suggestions? If not, then I'm just gonna go closest warehouse.
The least guarded warehouse so you don't get instantly spotted.
Aurora. Hope's
Just
Kai.
thinking.
Yeah, we accept
I
any
suppose
better
just
ideas.
normal. Suppose normal ruckus will do.
Normal
So that'll be the
rockers.
fire alarm with the shotgun.
Closer to the fire alarm. Let's try not to escalate the situation needlessly.
Fair enough. Who wants to go pull it? Or shall I be the one to go do it?
Well, I'm the largest here, so they'll probably spot me instantly.
Fair enough. Sorry to make my way toward the next closest warehouse.
The one that
Go
for
pull
the
the
one
fire
that's the
alarm.
least protected at this moment.
Yeah.
So, you pull the fire alarm. The warning klaxons on this warehouse start howling. And then the klaxons on the other warehouse start howling. And then the entire neighborhood.
I proceeded to make my way back to the group.
As we note, here's your chance, Kirby.
Now, Chris, the people inside are in panic. Solid panic. They are running around looking for something.
I'd imagine so.
Perfect chance to go on playing them.
On the plus side, as one of them runs past you, they're clearly not looking for a person.
That is good. In a moment time.
I believe in you. Dude, all you have to do is be better than Marcus. No offense, Marcus.
So, you want to stealthily throw one of the tracking chips in the truck? Chris?
I think he imploded.
God fucking damn it.
Let's wait for him. I would assume yes.
I shall be eating.
Sorry, lunch just got here.
Can I have
Okay,
some?
so I start as like people are kind of like running and panicking. I start moving in closely to the tracking device on the.
Give me a stealth check plus 30, please.
Two stealth.
They don't pay any attention to you, clearly still searching for something. And you can easily make your way to the truck, just throw the tracking chip in and leave.
Alright. I'll do that.
As you exit the warehouse, you already see people, mainly tech priests and workers from the closer areas, converging on this place.
It's like a swarm.
Yes, it is a kind of swarm, yes.
Pretty much, yeah. Turn its war.
Wait,
Would you like
Wait,
to
do
give
they
me a logic check? Or intelligence?
Okay.
anyone?
What check again?
Watch it.
Logic or intelligence if you don't have that. Kirby.
I don't have it. I'll just roll flat intelligence.
Eh.
Kirby and Aurora, you realize something. This place stores a lot of volatile chemicals. A lot of volatile chemicals. By pulling the fire alarm in this place, you're alerting the entire area surrounding it, because it's just this dangerous. Because any fire has to be beaten down immediately. Do any of you know what the Halifax explosion was?
Yes.
No.
Okay, good. That was in the middle of a harbor. Now imagine that in the middle of a hive. This is what could happen if this place goes up in flames. And that's why everyone is running to this place and frantically looking for something. They're
It goes
looking for the
boom.
fire. They're trying their desperately, their most desperate, there we go, to find the source of fire before it spreads.
Thank God that we didn't actually start one.
I know.
Oh
like,
yes, that would have been very bad.
Like most problems can be solved by fire.
Not this
Technically,
one!
This would have solved our problem and started others.
It would
There's
have
a-
solved the
there's a-
whole
there's-
campaign, I feel like.
Oh god.
I'm glad I talked you out of it.
That was just a very bad suggestion.
Yeah, we were throwing ideas into the fucking ether.
Hey man, see?
But, I microbreed you to, Amber,
Right.
and tell you to get out of there.
Oh no, I already started making my back. I already started moving the fuck out. Like,
All of you are moving out, and as you leave the complex, you see that the truck is also leaving. Quite quickly, too. You figure they probably just left half-loaded.
Well, no, should we follow it, or...
Quick, follow that truck.
do we have a vehicle or are we about to jack a vehicle?
You do not own a vehicle.
Is there a vehicle with us nearby?
Do we see
Is there a
any-
vehicle with a what nearby?
Civilian? Like an auto cart?
Or perhaps someone
No,
with clothes
they are-
and a motorcycle?
Any kind of vehicle you can see is either something that is the 40k equivalent of a fire truck, or is moving rapidly away from this place.
You guys don't hijack a
No!
vehicles.
Whatever you just said, no!
No, this is out of character. This is out of character. Since we will need a vehicle to keep up with the goddamn truck.
I mean, that's we have a tracking device on it, so we can follow it without too much trouble, but, if you wanna check, I don't...
Is only an idea players. Do you want to keep pace or not to? If not, let's just keep moving.
I mean, it would be a great idea to keep pace so we can see what happens on the spot.
Rather than get there an hour later and risk the truck being somewhere else
Yeah.
from where it should be. That's why I bring this up as an option. What does everyone think? Chris? Kat?
Since we don't have a vehicle, kind of a moot point to try and keep pace.
I suppose there wouldn't be any supply trucks like the one that we are trying to follow.
Rapidly moving away from this place.
Yeah, that's...
Again, that's why I said our
As
option
in
is...
driving for their lives.
Yeah. Also, is our option...
Find the closest one and hijack it at gunpoint.
We don't need a hijack.
The closest one is far away from you and moving further away from you. Remember, you were at point 0, and they're all moving away from point 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the other option is a fire truck.
Like... Unless...
Yeah, the fire trucks are moving towards you.
Is there a fire coordinator or fire chief's vehicle? Would be lighter and also faster.
You could probably find one of those if you wait for a moment.
Do we want to take the risk?
Well, we have the trackers. Change
I
much.
really don't like the idea of trying to check a fire.
Here's what we can do. How about we head back to base, and in the morning, follow the tracking beacon to the location where the vehicle stopped. Because at current, if we were to take a fire coordinator's vehicle, I think in a situation in which I'm speedily trying to get away from, potential ground zero, I would be a little alarmed if the fire truck, or sorry, the fire coordinator's vehicle is behind me.
True. But then again, I would mainly pitching the idea of us using the vehicle as if it stops at a location for any given minute, we can start making our way there. Because if we wait too long, the truck might stop, offload its payload, and then fuck off somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the problem. Wait until morning at our hideout too. We have to go now either on foot or the vehicle, whatever, if we can even get one.
Yeah, I'm thinking a bit.
I will illustrate to you guys a point that we have just pulled the fire alarm, and now this whole hab block is under the assumption that a fire is started somewhere and it's going to blow the fuck up. And this is presuming, so it could be a completely false presumption. But if presuming that the destination where it has to drop off is this hab block, that drop off is going to be rescheduled. It has to be.
Fair enough.
May I give a small correction? This is not a hab block. This is a major manufactorum. It's going to be fun finding out what kind of security measures you triggered.
Yeah. So that's why
all of them.
Yes. So it's more or less a group vote. Do you guys want to go now or go later and risk being at the wrong location? Or them finding the tracking beacon and tossing it into the sewers?
Yeah, we can't go later. We have to go now.
I immediately point out option A and option B because Chris is right too. Though that's the risk we're taking. Yeah. One of us is right, the other one's wrong, and we need to pick which route we're following. So what route do you guys want to take? Because I think Chris wants to stick to his secret mine.
Here's the. If we might be able to get a fire coordinator vehicle. What does a fire coordinator's vehicle look like, Holler?
It is basically just a civilian vehicle that is painted red and blue and silver.
Yeah, but no, I don't mean be on time when tracking them. I mean simply follow from a distance and stops at any given location for, let's say, a good minute. That's our point. That will have to be our point. Why else would this just stop somewhere for any given amount of time on air-quote traffic lights?
This would be an example.
Yeah. Usual pickup truck or something similar.
Okay.
Yes. I've tossed in my 2 cents. I shall leave it to the group to decide. I'm about to go take a piss.
The one situation where hailing a cab is not an option.
Let's call an Uber.
Hello, Uber. Would you like to come into this place where there might be a potential explosion?
Hello, Uber. What is your name? Oh, Angron. That's a nice name.
Always Angron all the time.
I have no idea, honestly. Both options sound like they're decent ideas. Just don't like the idea of trying to check a damn...
Okay. Here's what we can do. Since it seems as though we're gonna have to nick something. Since a player is currently not here, well, not here in the sense they went to go take a piss, but would probably agree to this. Can I borrow this player's RP Taste badge?
Sure.
Okay. We wait for a fire coordinator. If we get caught trying to nick it, I'm going to show the badge, and I'm going to say, I'm going to say official fucking arbitrage investigation. We need to use the vehicle right now.
So you wait for a minute or two. By then, 2 fire trucks have arrived, and then one of the fire coordinators' vehicles comes around the corner. Rather fast, comes to a full stop, and then the coordinator jumps out and runs towards this people.
All right, you lads and gents, load up in that vehicle.
Load.
You doing that?
Sure.
Alright.
Why not?
Are we spotted attempting to do this?
Oh, almost certainly.
Yeah.
There's just too many people around.
Do any
Here's
of
the thing, though. They're too busy to stop you.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to treat this vehicle as a common firefighting vehicle because I have no idea how firefighting works in 40k.
I don't think anybody does.
And in the real world,
Like
it's a
with
matter of,
explosives.
probably with next Terminatus. In the real world, as a matter of course, we leave the engines running. Because there's a lot of stuff in there that needs a lot of power. And if you drain the battery, that's bad. So as you jump into the vehicle, the engine's actually still running.
What happened?
We're in the fire coordinator's vehicle.
Did we just steal, or did we use my Arbite authority to say we're commandeering the vehicle?
I was actually going to do that, but what?
Well, now we stole it.
Why?
Well, because it didn't stop us.
God damn it.
The good news is we still have the worker coveralls. So if they could get a quick look at us.
I don't have work.
We hop in. I reach my back pocket. I pull out my standard issue
I
sticky
kind of
note.
have it in my hands. I kind of stole it from you.
Fuck you. I pull out my sticky note, leave it on the ground. Thank you for your services, citizen, and have you drive off. That man's gonna be real fucking confused when he gets back to find his car is missing.
Well, no, he saw us take his car. Couldn't stop us. He has a fire to fight.
He's too far away and has too many bigger problems.
He has
Like the
an
fact-
invisible
like-
fire to fight.
Like the fact that this entire area is about to get hit with a thermo fucking nuclear particle splitting napalm strike.
Can I have that as a flamethrower, God?
You can, but you'll always be in the blast radius.
Okay.
Not in the fuck.
As will your party.
Why
As
in
will
the
be the half block you're in.
Okay. All this seems fine to me.
Alright, so we ride up behind the well, not right up directly behind them, but we ride a safe
Like a
shadowing
block behind
distance.
them?
A safe shadowing distance behind them. In our red and silver fucking
Well,
fire
that's why
coordinator.
we're like 2 blocks
With
away
blue
from
flashing
them.
lights, yes.
I imagine we turned that shit off.
Do you know how to?
Quickly, logic test to figure it out. Do it.
I mean, imagine it's just like a button or a switch inside the vehicle.
Yeah, but do we know which button or switch?
Have you spent the 10 minutes reciting the litanies to press the holy on rune?
Marcus, start to do your job.
I want you to know that I'm looking inside the fire coordinator's vehicle with the pictures, and there's a big keypad on there, and I'm confused.
Marcus, do your job. Start praying. Please tell me Marcus passed.
Well, let's see.
That was not him making a
Is
roll.
this hard to figure this out or easy?
If Marcus fails this, I'm just going to be depressed.
Give me a tech use plus 30.
Dang.
Marcus, you literally cannot fail.
He'll roll.
You wanna bet on that?
Marcus, if you roll 100, I think we can call the game day. Please tell me you do. Please tell me you do.
I mean,
Look at it.
that's a success.
What did he get? What did he get?
All
His
the
target-
exact 93 he needed.
You know, Marcus.
Find the button that turns off the blue lights.
This game hates you.
After pressing the button that plays the horn, which is definitely the horn from the Dukes of Hazzard. So as that truck is billowing down, trying to get away from potential explosive death, it just hears in the fucking background.
Nej, please
Alright, so you keep the distance. Presumably you keep out of sight and just follow the tracking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you follow him down into the lower hive, into one of the very low hab blocks. Very dilapidated. What quote-unquote buildings there are more or less ruins. This is the shittiest of the lower hives. This is almost under hive.
Almost, but not quite.
Hey, Marcus, he said dilapidated.
I know.
And
It's a thing.
A reference. It's a reference from something.
alright then. Anyways. So the truck drives towards some kind of loading bay. Big gate opens. And you can see people starting to unload the truck. Presumably you've left your your vehicle by now and are on foot for the last bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, congratulations! You have found out where the stuff is brought. And I believe this is where we'll stop for today.
Yay. And I take my badge back from Kirby. Bad Kirby.
And in the meantime, you can think about how you're going to further act.
Napalm.
I have a feeling they're not going to like you setting fire to the hive.
But napalm.
I can also tell you the Megos is not going to be happy with you.
No! Nobody's gonna be happy with us.
We did not set fire to the hive. We simply pulled the fire alarm and gave everyone a heart attack.
Yes.
Yeah, but the work
And
stopped.
how many security measures do you think you tripped? How many experiments do you think you ruined with that?
This many.